What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video, and this week has been insane. So last week, DSP had this interview that changed everything. He got called out for his scams, his e-begging, and then he went in cope mode and attacked Steven just like he did side-scrollers. And this week, we start on Saturday. Now, I know what you're saying. DSP has his day off on Saturday. Well, the DSP verse did not take a day off, as Steven himself was a guest on That Being Said, which is crazy, because Steven is friends with Kino Casino. Kino Casino is buddy trolling DSP, and now you have a buddy troll of Kino Casino on That Being Said. It's funny how things work out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me those FOIAs and the police report so I can. I haven't decided. Like, I'm probably gonna watch that Cope stream and hear him call me a moron 3 times or whatever he did. Mm-hmm. I'm probably gonna do like a aftermath of that interview show tonight.
Yep.
Which I was kind of on the fence. Part of me is like, just move on and laugh about this, but he's. Because sometimes it seems pointless. Like, okay, let me prove that he lied again and lied again and lied again in his Cope stream, and
The hard part is, like, he's never going to change on what he says ever. So, like, you guys did the right thing bringing up a lot of fucking information that's new, but then afterwards he just says, oh, they brought up everything that everyone else was always brought up. But that's not true, really. Like, you guys really showed individual stuff. Yeah. So, like, and the case number, I think that was the best part of the whole thing, really, was when, I mean, the most, like, gotcha there was that, like, case number. And he's like, you know, what's the case number? And then BroSide, you said the case number. And he's like, yep, that's it. But can you talk about BroSydePhil? Because I know you released that video about that.
All he has to do to clear all this up is show his bank statements from the time of the bank leaks. If they match, you're a scumbag. If they don't match, you're totally vindicated. And everybody's been lying about you for years. Who wouldn't take that opportunity? But he can't, because he knows those bank leaks are real.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's obviously true. And then you got to remember, he's already convinced the people that give him money, so he doesn't need to convince anyone else, right? In his world, right?
Yeah. No, they'll take it. I have to consider the safety of my family or whatever. Yeah. They'll take whatever reason he gets, because that's all they need to justify their continued support.
He also likes doing this whole reverse psychology, but not to his dents, but like to detractors, by being like, all these guys have to do, all they have to do is just be good people, and like they could come on my stream and give me donos, but they're not good people because they don't do that. He never actually says it, but what he's saying is, all you dents, all you people that are giving me money, you're the good ones. You're good, they're bad. If only they were good too.
Listen, I don't want to create any rift between me and Triple P. If he's gonna, if his position is that he really thought that I was just going to softball glaze this guy, then I apologize. Maybe I should have said to P. And part of me wanted to, but I didn't want to jinx it, because I kind of felt like part of me did have the thought, like, should I tell Triple P, like, you know what's going to happen, right? You know what I'm going to do. You know what I do, right? Like I said, you don't throw fresh meat in front of a wolf and tell him he can't eat.
Yes.
So that's my position on this whole thing. We didn't have a conversation. I didn't clarify, and maybe I should have,
Yeah.
But I mean, I jinx it.
I think myself, and I don't want to speak for anyone else here, but Triple P's tweets after that exposed for normal people what the plan was. You know what I mean? So I'll read one here. I would just like to make it clear that Steve went too far last night and didn't give DSP a fair hearing. Never let him talk. Despite that, DSP, against all odds, gave a spectacular accounting of himself and won the day through staying positive and true to himself and his fans. And anyone with a brain can know that that's not what happened. Also,
I'm starting to think that Triple P is an evil genius, and I'm just a puppet. Phil's a puppet on his strings, and so am I. And then I know on your show, he said some Jedi thing, like some Emperor Palpatine shit. He said, He said everything is proceeding according to my plans or something. So
yes, he did.
Who knows? He might be an evil genius. I don't know.
Also, one more thing from Triple P, so you know his true intentions. Again, you have this. The requirement to understanding his true intentions are that you haven't eaten any crayons that day. Okay, that's the only requirement. I'm going to read it to you here. At the end of the day, Phil will have a rewarding stream of meaningful content with this positive community where he's hitting goals and crushing trolls. He has a beautiful family with his wife and son. What does Steve have? Only the admiration of a toxic group of trolls. So there we go. And Steve, if I'm correct, you have a beautiful wife and real son, right?
Two real sons, yeah. Two real children.
Have you declawed them yet, or are you waiting on that?
And Steven wasn't kidding when he said he's going to do an aftermath, reacting to DSP, reacting to him, and calling him a moron. And he decides to go even harder on DSP.
Tonight, I'm going to be responding to this moronic idiot who was stupid enough to claim that, you know, he's been grifting and scamming his audience his entire life, but he was going to go on a show called Truth Seekers, and I was going to give him a circle jerk, you know, glazing here. This guy will use anything to beg! Steve took Phil's crown in the last casino chip, felt it, etc. Thank you, Archduke Instinct. Very kind of you. We appreciate you. Steve's now 9. Hope we hit our goal tonight. Yeah. Well, I should make it. I did eat Arby's, but not on stream yesterday. And by the way, this is why Truth Seekers is greater than Phil. Phil begged and begged and begged for $150, and then he ate a couple of sandwiches on stream. I didn't even beg. And we had a huge windfall of money. Thank you, dumb side Phil. Huge win. People were just throwing money at me. I couldn't even catch it fast enough. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank God Almighty that the universe sent me dumb side Phil, that I could make a shit ton of money in one night. So yesterday was Valentine's Day. I took my entire family to Arby's. We had wonderful meals. And then there was a homeless guy in the parking lot. I even bought him a meal, thanks to the dumb side Phil windfall and hitting our goal. And I didn't beg for that money, Phil. I did it. Here, super genius of the millennium. Do you notice anything in this promo that I cut from your promo? Genius, super genius of the millennium. Did you notice something? Maybe there's a clue here. Dude, you're on a web and it's slowly zooming into you trapped in a web.
Thursday night.
You're trapped in a web
regularly
on the promo, you
Thursday
dummy.
Night at 7 p.m.
You missed this.
Time,
You're trapped in a web.
I'm going to be appearing
And he thinks this is going to go good for
live
him.
show.
I gave him 20 minutes of being, like, very nice. And by the way, I want to put this on the record, too. I did recall after that guest appearance that Triple P told me to be nice to him. You know, or he said, like, be kind or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Triple P said, be nice or be kind. And I said, okay. Last night, I was as kind and nice to him as I could be. I could have really destroyed him much worse, and I could have yelled and screamed and been a lot more aggressive. That interview was me being nice, okay? So I feel like I kept my word to Triple P.
What I was told, Steve, the guy from Truth Seeker Show, set it up as, oh, I did all this research and I did all this and here's what I discovered. Steve did not discover anything. Literally every single thing that he brought up was actually copy-pasted from Kiwi Farms. If anything...
Where were those? Show me, Phil, you dummy. Show me where the slides I made that correlated all the locations on the bank leaks being right near your house. Show me where those were on Kiwi Farms. Those were original slides I made myself. And by the way, if I really want to be petty, I could show everybody the files that are on the Google Drive I used during the interview. I could show everybody the metadata that shows their creation date, that shows they originated on my PC. They weren't copied from another website or anything. You lied to your audience to cope, you little bitter, angry, jealous little bitch of a man.
I think about $500 in super chats, and then he got a whole bunch of subs on Kick. So he probably made about $1,000, you know, doing that show.
Yo, Phil, bro, where's my wallet? Get out of my pocket. Get out of my pocket, Phil. Why are you in my pocket? Why do you care how much money I made? Why is it? Why? You know? there's a lot of changing stories, right? A lot of changing stories about him and mobile games. First, he said he never played mobile games. Then he said he did play mobile games. First, he said he never played the WWE thing. Then the dummy left it up on his phone, so he had to admit that, oh, yeah, I do play mobile games, including the WWE thing. Very adult game he's playing here.
But again, guys, do you see how, like, these fucking weirdos always prove my point? Like,
here we go.
I've said a million times, I don't play mobile games, right?
I've said a million times, I don't play mobile games. I've said a million times, I don't play mobile games.
Well, here we go. Oh, but you said on your podcast, your marriage, that on the plane in 2019, you were playing mobile games. It's like, what the fuck? So first of all, you even like care like you remember that. You went back and watched back my fucking podcast from April 2019 talking about my marriage, and you took out one, thing that I said on the podcast, and you singled it out to try to make me a liar, right? No, that's a lot. Just like everything has a very logical explanation. But
oh, yeah, there is a logical explanation. You lied to your audience. Either you lied to your audience when you said you never play mobile games, or you lied to your audience when you said that you played mobile games on the plane with your wife, right? It's one or the other. You can't have it both ways, piggy, pig.
And Steven's rage and anger didn't stop there. And you can tell he's doing his deep dive investigations of him, and then a video pops up which is very familiar, with a very familiar voice too. Steven is going to give final message to DSP.
Did you know that one guy went bankrupt 3 times donating to Phil? And here he's going to put his foot in his mouth good.
Apparently, not one of them has a brain in their head. He literally believes that there are people who have actually gone into bankruptcy because of the amount that they have supported me.
Oh my God. This guy is so dumb as dirt. Hold on. All you got to do is go on YouTube. We're going to do this in real time because I'm a terrible show host. I should have had this up. There's a video about a guy that went into bankruptcy 3 times, contributing to DSPGAMING. And that is a very sad thing. Timbo Slice, he went into bankruptcy 3 times for DSP. Timbo Slice, who went into bankruptcy 3 times for DSP. We'll share that real quick. We'll just share a few minutes of it.
Pay pigs out there. Timbo Slice. What we're going to look over is from public records, which will blow your mind how much Timbo has ruined his life, how bad he is with money, and how much he resembles DSP more than you think. Timbo started off in 2014 supporting DSP under his handle Timbo Slice GB.
By the way,
GB
fair use.
standing for Green Bay Packers. His Twitter was solely based on promoting and interacting with DSP, which is a very weird thing. He would defend DSP against the trolls. He would tag other people for no other reason but to talk to them out of the blue, like Mick Foley. Also, just like a lot of the other DSP viewers, he wanted to be a streamer, and he streams on Twitch with no commentary gameplay. This is a common thing with DSP viewers as they see DSP.
Let's just look at this title. And I did watch this whole thing, and it seems accurate according to public records that this supporter of DSPGAMING went bankrupt 3 times. And sadly, he sent him the last dono he sent him was like, I don't really have this money, but I'm sending it to you anyway.
As someone who succeeded being a streamer, and they live through him. They also see an imaginary war against the trolls that DSP himself has made up to get his viewers motivated to support him.
It's a grift.
Soon Timbo would keep supporting DSP more and more, to the point where he would get a 100k bit badge, which indicates that he spent $1,000 on DSP.
Wow.
Phil would notice that Timbo is one of his biggest supporters at the time and make him a mod. However, DSP will turn on you in an instant if you say or do something he doesn't like. Timbo would start insulting Panda Lee, DSP's girlfriend at the time, which resulted in Timbo then apologizing and asking for forgiveness. Then when DSP started outright asking for donations on stream, Timbo turned on DSP, and tried to get into the detractor side of the imaginary war.
So he turned to the light side for a minute there.
The detractors rejected him. He went crawling back to DSP, asking for forgiveness, and started to give him more money.
Like a
Then
dummy.
before you know it, Timbo Slice was back being a mod again. Then
you could just buy a wrench if you give him enough money. Yeah, not scammy or greasy at all.
Two things happened that would be devastating for Timbo. One of them was his outrageous spending habits, not only on DSP, but in his personal life as well. And there was a new supporter who came into the fold that would challenge every other supporter to try to be the alpha whale.
The alpha pay pig.
Enter Only Iced Coffee, who tried to get a hold of DSP and wanted everyone to know he was the alpha, even going as far as doxing and making DSP turn on other whales.
Wow.
Soon, Timbo was doxed on Kiwi Farms, with a lot of people saying it was OIC to prove a point to Timbo. And
all right, I'm not going to play any more of this. It's enough to say that he just lied to his audience. Like, oh, somebody said, Steve said somebody went bankrupt. Well, there's public records that prove that one of your supporters went bankrupt while they were one of your pay pigs. You slob. I do believe
because
it.
Of the amount that they have supported me.
There's public records, Phil. There's public records in a video on YouTube.
Here, right?
Who's crazy?
You actually believe that someone actually gave?
There's public bankruptcy records. The guy got doxxed, so we know his real name. You could look up his court documents. He went bankrupt 3 times, being one of your pay pigs, you dummy.
Me their entire life's fortune, and they went into bankruptcy because of me. I mean, what? Where do you even get this stuff?
Well, I didn't say that, but it can be clearly established that one of his pay pigs went bankrupt 3 times, and he's clearly was one of his pay pigs and moderators, and he went bankrupt 3 times. That's a factual statement, Phil. And go on over to Duty Streams. Man, look at that. Duty Streams is a so-called detractor, and he's getting 5,000 views on this video. That's an awful lot more than the subject matter gets, which is kind of funny, right? This guy is so grifty. The detractors, the hate streamers get more views. They get more views than he does, right? It's funny. It's just funny. You gotta love it. They're getting 10 or more times the views that he gets.
And that brings us to Sunday, one of the most important days of the week, and the birth of a new DSP meme. But first, we start off with this from TJ Gamebox. And no, this is not a repeat of the last video where he spent money. This is a brand new event. Because last week he spent over $2,000 on Seth Rollins. This week, $1,823 on Asuka. It's funny how he sold the account, but whoever bought it is keeping up the spending on the account. Just a coincidence, probably. And we have Mark. DSP is speedrunning another 30,000 plus a year into WWE Champions. I think Big Boy Brunel is already closing in on 10,000 in 2 months. Imagine spending 30,000 plus every year since 2017 and not taking your wife on a honeymoon. Then apparently during the aftermath with Steven responding to DSP, Iron Chef Sakai gifted Steven 20 kick subs, which equals about $100. And then Steven responds, "Someone have him contact me. I want to make him a mod. I win." And then it was a brorific day. Cause the broest of all the bros, BroSydePhil. Do you have any idea how fucked you are, asshole? Referring to DSP. 4 p.m. Central, do not fucking miss this. And puts up a picture where it says, "She remembered. Pig roach cooked." And we will get around to that. And then we have DSP in the chat in pre-stream. I was sitting here wondering why my gaming PC did a Windows update and not this one. Then I looked it up, and apparently I suspended all updates until March because I got so pissed off with them breaking. Then apparently on the schedule, DSP forgot to put Smart Guys on there. And everyone kept saying, "Oh, is Kino turning on DSP? Oh, is this the end of them using him?" And of course, DSP wants to address the drama. And this turns into a cope session where DSP is okay if everything being over with Kino Casino, even though he doesn't think it'll happen. And he wants to go back to gaming, and even going as far to say they're not best friends. This is just a working relationship.
With my appearance on a podcast / show that didn't go as I was told it was. Basically, I was lied to directly about this appearance, which was very confusing. It caused drama. We fully addressed all of this on Friday, right? So I've said my piece, and I moved on from this, right? Like, I'm done. We already had a great day. For the record, Friday was a great streaming day, you know? And this is what I keep telling people, that this drama stuff, it doesn't benefit me. It doesn't really affect me. To be honest, I kind of feel like it was a waste of time to even have to waste the podcast on Friday talking about it. Because it has nothing to do with us, right? We're all here for a reason. To enjoy each other's company, to chill, to hang out, and enjoy games. That's really the primary reason. Now, there's other things too, you know, but for the most part, that's what we're all here for, right? So, and apparently I screwed up my own schedule. That caused so much controversy. I came into the chat this morning as I was about to start the stream, and everyone's talking to me about, all this drama that's going to happen on Tuesday. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And they're like, yeah, because you're not doing Smart Guys. And now, apparently now this guy, Steve, who, you know, snaked you, he's going to be on the casino on Tuesday instead. And this and that. And I was like, I have absolutely no clue what any of you are talking about. But yeah, listen, I'm ready for games. That's the funny part about it, right? Is everyone's all drama. Literally, I go to turn on my stream. I look at the Kick Chat this morning. Every single person in Kick Chat is talking about drama. I'm like, it's not even, has nothing to do with me. It doesn't. I'm not even involved in it. Like, I just had a nice normal day with my wife, doing fun stuff, right? You know, relaxing. And I come back, and I'm like, I'm going to have a great week of games. This is exciting. I look at the chat, drama, like, what? And as you can see, I'm just not even like, how do I put it? There was a time when I used to get like worked up about shit, or angry about stuff, or upset, right? And I would stand here and I would have a big meltdown. How dare you all talking about drama in my chat, and, you know, all of that. In reality, I just, you know, at this point, I'm just so like, I don't care if you want to talk about it. I guess it's up to you. But for me, I go with the flow, and I already know I'm going to be incredibly busy this week with all these games coming out, right? I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room. Insane confusion about the schedule for this week, about drama, and about all this stuff going on. I feel like part of it has nothing to do with me, and part of it has to do with me making a silly, honest mistake. And I guess people have created drama in the last, like, 48 hours, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I came to my stream, and people are like, oh, my God, the schedule, and Smart Guys, and this, and that, and this. And I was like, what are you talking about? Okay? So, anyway, here's what's going on. So, as you know, I was on that show, Truth Seekers, on Thursday night, and it was entire thing was a trick, basically, so that Steve could basically make content for my detractors and make a bunch of money, which he has, which is not a shock, right? Like, he's made another stream. The stream made like $1,000, which is exactly what Side Scrollers did. And isn't that exactly what I said he would do on the show when I was on it? I literally said, so you're pulling the Side Scrollers. You're going to do exactly what they did. And he says, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. And then he went ahead and did it anyway. Because that's what he does. I mean, he plagiarized the entire show from Kiwi Farms, and now he's plagiarizing the milking of the detractors from Side Scrollers, doing exactly what I said he would do to a T. Like, it's like clockwork, actually. Okay? But I guess my detractors are so stupid they don't get that. They really are that dense and dumb. They don't understand that they're being milked again. This is the second time. Like, they already saw it happen once, and then saw nothing ever came of it, and now they're doing it again with someone else. They're that dumb. A fool and his money are easily parted, I believe is the saying, correct? So anyway, that happened. And then, as you know, we did our podcast the next day, and I told you guys, yeah, I got fooled, but I don't really care. We're moving on and all of that, right? So with all that going on, basically two things happened, okay? So number one, on the Kino Casino on Friday night, they were having a segment about this at the very beginning, the very top of the show. Okay, and they were basically joking on both sides. They were saying positive things about me, but then taking shots at me. But then they were saying negative things about Steve, but then saying basically what they made a whole drama segment about it, which is what they do, right? And I kind of feel like they're playing both sides on purpose, because that's what benefits them, that they get content out of this, right? Like, probably that's the point, right? Is that not the point, to get content? Like, I feel like that was the whole idea to begin with. So they did that, and then there was just an aside, like a quick line that PP had said. You know, after basically slandering Steve and saying, oh, he's a jerk and he went rogue, they said, and by the way, Steve, we'll see you on Tuesday, right? And that was it. And that was the end of it. So it was supposed to be like a side reference, like, haha, this whole thing's a joke to begin with. You know, we're still going to be friendly with Steve and everything anyway. So that happened. And immediately people are like, so now we don't know what's really going on, right? So in the meantime, to be clear here, all right, I spoke with PPP about all of this behind the scenes and everything. And, you know, everything is moving forward as planned. Like, we're still doing Smart Guys this Tuesday. You know, everything is fine. Okay. So all that's happening. And then I guess what happened was when I was doing my schedule on Friday night, I completely screwed it up and it's on me. This is me. My mistake is, I guess, the reason for the real controversy here. Like, I don't think anyone, let's be honest here. Does anyone think that Kino Casino are my best friends? Including me. No. And none of us ever felt that from the beginning, right? The whole idea here, right, is that they get content, but I benefit too. Like, we're all making out in this relationship that we've had ever since August of 2024, right? Like, we're all getting stuff out of it, and that's why it's continuing. If at ever there was no benefit to our relationship of working together on various projects and the like, then we would just stop. Like, what would the point be, right? Okay, so I think this is a weird thing that people are like, yeah, we're best friends behind the scenes and we're all doing this. It's like, I don't think anyone ever had that impression, except maybe the public for some reason. But that was never the thing. Like, we were always in a working relationship. I've outright said numerous times, I don't like drama. I don't want to be involved in drama, right? And the flip-flop of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have been glazing me for a long time. And everyone knows that. Like, that's the point. Isn't that the running joke? I thought that's what it was. I thought people were smart enough to get it, but I guess not. I guess some people just didn't get it. And they thought, you know what I mean? Like, I think people just misinterpret stuff.
And then there was a new character in Street Fighter 6. And he was bragging that he got them to Master Rank. But also says Master Rank doesn't matter. Because everyone eventually gets there. Then DSP goes on to say that Steven only did the interview because he wanted to make money off his detractors. And blah blah blah, same stuff as the side scrollers. And we have Emo Ghost. Steve makes drama content about Phil and gets money, equals bad. Kino Casino make content about Phil and gets money, equal opportunity razzers. Make it make sense. And then of course, every single year he wants to play Yakuza games. Despite every single one not getting attention, not getting attendance, and not getting supported. And every single year we hear, oh, it's the RPG overload, dude. It's their problem, not mine. Why isn't anyone supporting? I wonder why, Phil. I wonder why you're so boring during these playthroughs. Must be the game, right? And he's pre-begging people to support the new Yakuza game because he wants to play it. I think you got twisted here, Phil. You're the streamer. You're supposed to play what the audience likes, not what you like. Then we have Barrett Wells with a factual observation. He built his castle on empty DoorDash bags and digital Hogan cards. It was never gonna last. And then someone wanted to donate Monster Hunter to DSP. And DSP turns to the audience and says, what do you think, guys? Should I allow this person to donate to me? Definitely not a cult at all. And then the topic of Iron Chef Sakai donating the subs to Steven came up. And he folded his arms and he demanded answers. But then also revealed that Rare Tricks, the guy who bought him that cake last time and kept donating on Kick, is gone. Apparently he's been supporting detractors and giving them money. And that's money that should be going to DSP, dude. Then went on a rant about how it's MTV and reality shows' fault that people are not supporting DSP because they ruin people's attention spans. I got a newsflash for you, Phil. Even if they never existed, people would still not support you because you're boring. Your gameplay's boring and you suck at games. But guess what, guys? Iron Chef Sakai came back and apologized to DSP because he said he thought DSP would get a cut of the subs he donated to Steven. This is absolutely pathetic. I thought he was pathetic before. He's even more pathetic now. And not only that, his apology came with him donating 20 subs to DSP. And then DSP turned around and asked for another $150 from his audience. And then yet again, old man yelling at the clouds. YouTube lost their way. It used to be about passion, dude. Now people just want to make money on YouTube. Now keep in mind, this is a person whose business is to make money on YouTube, playing games and being a jackass. But he's complaining about other people wanting to make money on YouTube. Make that make sense, Phil. Then yet another Dent has come back. This time, Dan the Dent. And he gives a membership to Dragon Boy himself, Darziak. What a great, lovely couple. And it even seems like DSP's chat is very weary about Iron Chef Sakai. And we have Cracker Jacks, who's an official dolphin and a genuine fan of DSP. I'm glad you get the support from ICS, but something is wrong with that guy. You're just learning about that, Cracker Jacks? There's a million different red flags before this, and now you're saying there's something wrong with him. And then we have this from King Sly. So proud of my dog, BroSydePhil. Shout out to you, gang. Over 1K in chat. Then we see BroSydePhil with his stream title, Officer Whitney says, I hope he gets his comeuppance. Then as DSP's streaming, BroSide starts up his stream. Where remember when DSP was saying, he's lying about everything, BroSydePhil. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's got the wrong information. He's making stuff up about the officer. Well, BroSide is in with the receipts. And we see DSP Gaming, 238 people watching. BroSydePhil, 1.2k watching. Now, I would usually hype this up and tell you what's going on, but I'm going to let BroSydePhil tell you exactly what this stream is all about.
I was going to save this for Tuesday. I couldn't. As soon as I got off the phone, I knew I could not save this. I was too fucking hyped. I don't know if you could hear the excitement in my voice, but holy shit. I am fucking pumped. I did want to give it away. The official title, I may change it, I may not. Officer Whitney. Well, her first name happens to be Leanne. This is Leanne's revenge.
And then BroSydePhil showed off an audio call with Officer Whitney. And we got so much lore in this, and a new meme is born from this. A lot of this is surprising but not surprising at the same time. And it's almost like Lucero's cartoon, La Familia DSP, is now a documentary.
January 15th. Yeah, it looks like it was a call. Yes, it's a call. Okay, so this call would have been in reference to an individual saying that they had received very threatening emails, like emails to end their life. Is this ringing a bell so far at all?
No, because I'm trying to think. So January 15th, 2021, I was
Correct.
back in patrol, and I believe I was working probably the 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Shift. South End sector.
Okay, so
no, but the emails to threaten life doesn't narrow it down.
not a problem.
Sadly.
Not a problem at all. I think the RP is gonna ring a bell. So I'm gonna read a little bit of your narrative affidavit, and I'm gonna cut out the name of the individual, and I'm just gonna kind of remind you about what he said instead. Okay, so on 1/15/21 at approximately 17:31 hours, you were dispatched to threats report by phone. You made contact with the RP, who stated that he had received 3 emails from an unknown person that were threatening in nature. Subject explained that he is a crowd-funded paid gamer, and he games at least 8 hours a day, live streaming. Is any of this ringing a bell?
Yeah, because I believe he was swatted later on after that.
Yes, he was. You'll remember. Great.
Yeah, because his place was covered in cameras on the outside, and we were like, wow, we see that and we think, grow up, but I don't remember his name, but I remember because he was swatted sometime after that, and there was some drama.
So you've got the swatting thing, right? That it was Proton Mail that did it. Out of curiosity, when you said, so when I said he was a gamer and stuff like that, you mentioned you remembered the cameras. Was there any other reason why when I said he was a gamer that garnered a memory to you?
Well, yeah, so he didn't want us at his place. He didn't want cops showing up there. He insisted by phone. I do remember him sending the emails to me now so I could submit them. And I know he had contact. It must be with Chris because he talked about how much money he made playing 8 hours a day or whatever. And I was like, that's crazy. I don't remember the figure off the top of my head, but I remember thinking I was in the wrong line of business.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah. But he did not want us physically there.
How very strange.
And I'm like, well, yeah, he did not. And I know that because I remember the condos that he lived in, it was like Cabio or something like that. It was some weird name. And the condos getting to the back one that he was at, it's like a dead end. There's like a big fence and all this stuff. And I drove up to it because I'm like, well, if someone doesn't want me there and they're claiming to be a victim, I want to see why. So I did drive back there, and I saw a bunch of cameras posted up on the outside of the condo that he listed as his address. I don't remember making contact with him.
But the now that I've established that you have independent memory, that was the crux. That was one of the main things I wanted to check because, like I said, my integrity is coming into effect. I didn't want to give you too much and have people say, "Oh, I led you." You know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I got you.
Cool. So this is the big part. This is going to be more of a direct thing. During your conversations, and I'm assuming you remember your conversations with him mostly.
A little, yeah.
Okay, well, this would be pretty unique of a memory, I would think, but I'm not you. Whatever you remember, definitely don't tell me something you don't remember. I don't want that. So, what he is alleging, a couple of years after this event, he claims that he got his identity stolen and that his bank accounts were hacked. And so I'm going to paint this in, and so he got asked. And he didn't make a police report about that. And he got asked, why wouldn't you make a police report about your bank account being hacked? Why would you make a police report about, not make a police report about people accessing your bank accounts? Now, at the time when he answered this question, I thought he was talking about Detective Chris Edwards. So I asked him, and he says he definitely didn't say this. According to Phil, he says that he spoke with an officer, female, in reference to this, I can only assume that's you, who told him, when he was talking with you, mentioned to you that he was having trouble with PayPal, chargebacks. Like people would give him money and then they would charge back the PayPal transaction, and that it was a problem from him because he definitely saw that as a crime, not a civil matter, which it totally is, but he saw that as a crime. And he asked the female officer, is there anything that I can do about that? His statement is, and if you remember, that's fine. If you don't remember, that's fine. And if you remember you definitely didn't say it, that's fine too. He says that the female officer, I'm assuming you, stated, we don't have the manpower or the bandwidth or the unit to work those kind of cases. We only work, or in terms of cybercrime, we only work human trafficking. You should contact the FBI.
Oh, gosh. Well, for starter, I don't remember the PayPal conversation.
I'm not surprised.
I don't remember that conversation at all. Well,
let's talk.
I'm trying to think if that would even be something I would say, because I personally worked in the human trafficking online cases as both a UC and actually mostly as a UC.
You mean prior to this or after this?
Like prior and during.
Oh, like no.
Yeah.
You're making my day.
I worked those cases. In fact, our set team, they're I can't remember what it stands for now, but basically our narc detectives who were separate from the investigation division, they worked all those cases. And so whenever they had an operation, a sex sting or sex trafficking sting or whatever, I was actually one of the UCs either on the phone or typing. And way years prior to that, because I looked young enough, they used my pictures when we first started the online trafficking program in Renton with he's now I think Deputy Chief Rutledge.
Okay.
He was a detective in set, and he's the one who all on his own got that started, and we used my pictures, and I was the UC and all that. But we did, I mean, investigations would have been assigned any type of fraud or anything like that.
Yeah, so
they did investigate, because I worked in investigations. I mean, I was only property crime for a year before I moved on to sex crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't personally, I worked a few fraud cases, but the banks did the majority of the work there, not us.
Okay. Well, so, let me see if I can't garner a giggle out of you, okay, to kind of give you context of what this is all about. So Phil Burnell is very actually well known on YouTube, and you could even say notoriety / celebrity status. And the reason why he's so well known is he is well known for begging. He goes on YouTube by the moniker DarkSidePhil, and his YouTube channel of They Call Me DSP. He is also accused of having a gross gotcha game addiction to WWE champions, spending somewhere to the tune of $100,000 to $200,000 on a mobile game. And illegally, 100% illegally, somebody socially engineered his bank account information. Like, they were able to get onto Bank of America's call center and hear transactions come through. And they documented all of this, and he had like something like $40,000 in iTunes transactions, which would be how he's paying for the game, and like $20,000 in PayPal transactions, which is another way to pay for the game. Well, these were affectionately known as the bank leaks. And when I was telling you about that interview where he said, I didn't make the police report. Well, that was them saying, well, dude, if your bank information got leaked, why didn't you make a police report? Well, his response was because you said they don't work cases like that. They only work human trafficking. And I'm sorry, just based on how you're talking to me, I refuse to believe that. I just needed verification. So, like I said, it is stupid. It's dumb. It's dumber than dumb. But at the same time, like I said, I'm former law enforcement myself, and basically said, I don't believe you. You're a liar. You're this. You're that. When I talking about Chris Evans and stuff like that. Well, I live stream myself, and I was mentioning this, and I had an individual reach out to me. And say, actually, I know a former officer, because I know you're no longer with Renton, because I called Renton first, and they said, I actually know her. She was actually friends with my oldest sister. That's actually how I got your Facebook information. I'm not a crazy stalker or anything like that, I promise.
Oh, no, I mean, I kept my name the same, so I was like, I don't hide it or anything.
Okay, well, like I said, I really appreciate your time. This has been so wonderful.
Yeah, because if he had... The PayPal thing to begin with, you're right. That's a civil thing. But had he called and said, my bank account information is hacked, I'm out all this money, we absolutely, there's no, maybe small town places, but they would even hand it off to county. You know that.
Of course.
That gets investigated fully.
Exactly. It's so simple. It's a search warrant to an ISP, or it's a search warrant to the bank account saying, show me routing number, show me transaction time, show me IP address. It's a walk in the park. And we just don't investigate that because all we do is work human trafficking. My agency size was 50. How big is Renton's, what's Renton's authorized strength? Do you know?
Oh gosh, when I was there, I think the authorized strength was 128 to 132.
You guys are damn near 3 times the size of my department, and I worked those crimes.
Yeah, there were detectives in property crimes that specifically did work fraud and bank account stuff. So I don't remember the PayPal conversation. But I cannot imagine myself having worked the sex crime stuff saying that's the only online. I try to never tell people in any of the calls, like, nope, we only do this, we only do that. Like, sure, we'll look into it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken the damn report. And, although that was the threats thing.
Yeah,
but still.
Of course.
To know. Now,
Yeah,
But-
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's accurate. It was a female officer because I was the only female on my squad. It's possible that when he had the PayPal conversation, if he called back another time, sometimes the North Sector officers will take the phone reports for the South or vice versa if we're busy.
No, he
and
had.
then we're females working opposite. But I'm
he
sure it
had
was me.
documentation. He had documentation in
Okay.
his hands, and the only way he's getting
Okay.
documentation is if he picked it up offline. It looked like some semi-official, so maybe something was mailed to him or something like that. But yeah, he was
public disclosure stuff.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I've got the public disclosure stuff. He probably has initial report stuff, or maybe like a business card or something like that. But yeah, you definitely are the only female listed on here. It matches everything else. You absolutely crushed this. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome.
It like I said, it's really stupid, but it meant a lot to me. Ms. Whitney. Oh, sorry, I think it's Miss. Well, it's not. I don't want to give your new last name, but Ms. Whitney. I'll just leave it at that. You have just been an angel. Thank you so much. Did you have any questions for me, or anything that I can answer for you, or that you want to know about this whole shenanigans?
Oh gosh, no. I mean, I'm just glad I was able to remember.
There's basically, like I said, there's this guy, and then there's kind of, I don't say an army, but there's a lot of people who don't like him that make content about him. They're called detractors, right? And I was one of the, if not, I think one of the only people that has ever actually gotten to talk with him face to face, like across an interview, right?
Oh, wow.
And during that interview, he asked me, what incentive would this, let's say you get in contact with this officer, what incentive would she have to tell you the truth? And so I was kind of indignant about that, being like, dude, do you understand what Brady Giglio is? This is her career. It will end her if she was just to be flippant and be like, I don't remember anything, because, it'll get her in trouble if, you actually said, hey, we don't do those crimes, to just skirt the issue. So then he goes on afterwards, when I'm not talking, he goes on a little show of his own. And he basically said, of course, if this woman remembered and what she was doing was wrong, she would lie out of self-preservation. I would love to hear your opinion on that line of thinking.
Well, see, and that's somebody right there who's already got a compromised moral compass. I mean, he's up to bad stuff in himself, so he thinks everyone else has the same degraded moral compass. My commission for Washington State actually expired last weekend.
Hey,
so there's
there
really no repercussions on me. I'm not even commissioned anymore. So it's like, I can't see myself why not be honest about it? That's what separates. People always have this assumption when they're up to bad things that everyone else will do the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a hard time believing that cops are like, the majority out there are honest, and I'll remember the best I can. I might get some things wrong or not remember certain bits and pieces, but I'll do the best.
Well, yeah,
But
and I knew that
I'm
when...
not going to sit there. Yeah.
Yeah, when I said it was Phil, you didn't say, oh, yeah, totally, that's who it was. It was Phil. Yeah, it was Phil. Dude, you didn't remember. Okay, that happens.
No. But I remember the incident. I don't remember the PayPal conversation, but it could have entirely happened. I was pretty thorough in documentation, so if it's in there, then it happened. That was my own thing.
Well, you didn't document it, and based on your statement, the conversation about PayPal, and based on your statements of, I worked in human trafficking, there's no way in hell I would tell somebody we only work human trafficking. That's just my icing on the cake. I am gonna defer to what I always refer to as LEO best practice or common practice, which is what I think you gave me over this guy who's been caught in God knows how many lies in the past. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you.
Well, I appreciate it.
Well,
I can't see any repercussions for me either way. If he's like, I recorded it and she said this, and I'm like, that's kind of an outlandish thing for me. Of course he didn't. But I'm like, I was very cautious when I would talk to people to not give onlys or we don't do that, And there were times and calls I referred people to the FBI, but that was if I was tired of talking to them and they were what we call a 220, you know, kind of mental. And that was just for fun.
You have no idea how much that like you just gave me icing on top of icing on top of icing on top of a cherry on the cake. My God, you were a sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't want to take any more of your Sunday. You gave me 23 minutes of your time. I am indebted to you. Thank you so much.
You bet. And I hope everything works out all right with the whole thing. And this Phil guy gets his comeuppance all on his own karma. And yeah.
And a meme was born, 220, meaning a person that is mentally disturbed. And of course, everyone had to have fun with it and eventually got back to DSP where bans started happening. But let's hear final thoughts from BroSydePhil on his stream.
I feel better. Let's watch the piggy roast. Like I said, I know it's not huge. I know it's not Omega. I know it's not the greatest thing ever. But at the same time, it was really kind of the greatest thing ever for me. I don't know what else to say. Now, why does this matter? Somebody said, I don't understand why this matters. And the reason why it matters is because Phil's claim during the side scrollers, if you remember, was the reason I didn't make a police report was this. And it was because I was told they work human trafficking and only human trafficking. Fine. They don't work only human trafficking. Why did he not report it? Now, this is just an assumption.
Tonight,
This is just an assumption, but the assumption that I have is if you make the police report, it confirms the account is yours. He can't confirm the account is his. He had to let it go.
Banned.
Just got banned by saying 220 on KickChat LMAO. Oh shit, man. Things got back to him quick. That is fantastic. Image. Great. Let's bring that up. What is this? There it is. And let me make some adjustments here, guys. Sorry. And I know I'm talking fast and stuff. I know I sound really excited. That's because I am really excited. I was really excited to get this out there and show that I am not a lying sack of shit, that I actually did my due fucking diligence.
All these
and I worked my ass off.
But remember, you don't matter unless you tip.
I worked my ass off to give a fair and unbiased take, and I'm not letting this asshole steal.
Then BroSydePhil goes on Twitter. Phil, next time, think before you call someone a liar. Asshole. 220 gang. Then we have Iron Chef Sakai in the Kick Chat. POS BroSide. Then we have a parody of the Jim Carrey movie, but this one is the number 220. Then of course, another Life is Strange style game came out and DSP has to play it. It's a walk-in simulator. Even though every time he plays one of these, low attendance, low support, but he keeps playing these games. And then someone asked DSP, where's all the money going? Because DSP revealed he has no money saved up, yet he keeps getting all this money on stream, all the money that came in from Kino Casino audience, but he has nothing left. So the good question that someone asked is, where did the money go and where is the money going? And in this video, DSP's gonna reveal that he's still spending money on mobile games.
I'm gonna read this one. Someone tipped $2 says, why can't you just be honest with us? It's hurtful that I've been lying, and I don't mind doing big support if you tell us where the money is going. All right, you want to know where the money is going? Ready? Here's where the money goes. You want me to outline every single thing? Let's see. Let's start. My money goes to all my ongoing bills. So things every month that I absolutely must pay. Like my mortgage, okay? Like health insurance. Like the utilities, right? Basic stuff that everyone has, right? Money also goes to support all the people and creatures in my household. You know, so food for everyone. All the supplies for the house and everything in this house. Everything for Jasper Kitty, right? All of that stuff has to be paid for. Okay? Everything that's associated with this business has to be paid for. That's where the money goes. Does some of the money go frivolously to things? Sure it does. And we order out once or twice a week. DoorDash, not DoorDash, Well, DoorDash sometimes, whatever. It doesn't matter how we order, right? But we order out every once in a while. Not every day, but every once in a while, right? Do I spend money on mobile games? Yes, you guys are well aware of that. I've done it publicly. I've told you outright that I do it, right? Like, this is all this, there's no secret clandestine stuff happening here, all right? And as you can see, the turnaround that I've had since last summer, I am not destitute. I am not desperate. I am not sitting here, oh my God, I need to make my goal today or else I can't pay my bills. That's not the case. All right? I'm not in the best of financial positions, that's for sure. I'm also not in the worst. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, which is a good place to be. Okay, much better than me always being in an awful situation for the longest time. And this is something that has been transparent since last year. I've told you all about this, right? So I don't know what confusion you would have about it at this point. Now, am I going to sit here and tell you guys every single thing I'm going to do with every dollar? No. Literally no content creator is ever going to do that ever in the history of anything. Because it's funny when people demand these things of me, it's like, well, did you ever ask this other guy or this other guy? Even the people who are asking those things of me haven't done it themselves, right? For all these streams that Steve is doing about me, is Steve going to open up his accounts and checkbook and show you what he's spending all the money on that he made on those streams? Well, nor should he have to. No one should ever have to. All right? If you have issue with me in the past, 5+ years ago during my bankruptcy, saying that I was in a bad financial position and asking for contributions, and you think that I spent money irresponsibly then, fair enough, you have reason to criticize me for things that happened 5 years ago. But today it's 2025. It's not 2020 and me going through a bankruptcy. It's different now. And I'm not doing those dumb things. I'm not promising you guys the world and not living up to it. I'm not begging and demanding and then, doing these underhanded things, right? The truth is, back then, I was in a very desperate position. I didn't know how the hell I was going to get by day to day. Okay? I was in a bad way, and I did things that I regret. But I'm not doing them anymore. So, if you're okay with that, and you want to stick around, and you want to enjoy my content and support it, thank you. If you're not okay with that, and you don't, you're upset, then you can leave, and that's fine too. That's the beauty of human nature, is you have freedom of will to do whatever you want with your time, right? I'm not going to sit here and cry about it, So thanks to those who've been along for the ride and people who like my content and want to still be here for positivity and fun. I appreciate you all. I really do. And if you're upset with me, fair enough. I'm sorry that this has happened. And things have come to light that you don't like about my past. Have a good life. But that's where I leave it. I don't need to sit here and talk about it all day, every day. And I don't need to, be beating around the bush talking about this shit, But that's what everyone wants. Well, just keep bringing it up every day. No, I'm not going to. I have more positive things to do in my life that I've moved past all of this crap. I'm in another phase of my life, a much better one. All right, so there you have it. All right, okay.
Then DSP put out a video to say that there's a scam going around, a fake YouTube email with a link that takes all your information. Because of course, those 5 people that watch your videos will be very affected by this, Phil. And it sounds like a boomer thing. Don't click on that link in that email, dude. And then Ethan Ralph quote tweets and says, "Saved you a click. Never watch a DSP video or stream, so you will be safe from getting scammed online." Then DSP goes on to say, "I don't stalk or keep up with my supporters." And Poem Josh adds on, "You message ICS to see if he was gone, Philip. You said it yourself." And DSP thinks that eating a double quarter pounder from McDonald's is insanely ridiculous. He said no athlete should eat it. Then we get to the night stream, where he does the Elden Ring network test. And this is something he's been doing a lot lately. If he makes money on the first stream, he'll leave up the leaderboard to go, "Guys, see what we did last stream? Hopefully we get it this stream, dudes." Then of course, DSP being the weak link on the team, he goes on to say, "My teammate is teleporting everywhere. How do I do that? Not everyone can play non-stop like you. Stop teleporting like an idiot." Rob Bennett, no thoughts to even look up how to do it and blame someone else. Then we have Next Gen Guy. Nothing he said made any sense. Team-based Fortnite or Warzone? Computer-controlled NPCs?
No, like I'll be honest, this game is going to work when you have a team of established people that you're playing and you're communicating with, and that's the enjoyment of watching people play the game. Much like if you watch a team of people play Destiny or Apex Legends, or even a team of people playing team-based Fortnite or team-based Warzone, that's going to be the appeal of the game. People playing solo, unless you're playing solo with two NPCs that are computer controlled, so there's no one to talk to, there's not much you could really do because you can't even play at your own pace. You saw what happened there, where I was basically getting dragged all around the map by this guy who just wanted to solo. That was really frustrating and not fun. I mean, I'm happy that I won, and I got some items that now we can use in the next run, but still, you know, you want to be able to play, and I didn't feel like I was really doing much. King Michael dinner was...
And then support was low, so you know what that means. Wage quit time. DSP wage quit the beta with 1 hour left. And you know what happens when he wage quits things. Q&A time, baby. And then we have Darcy to Phil, who shows off DSP in a straitjacket with 220 on him, wearing the Zelda jammies. And the JG win, 220 is the new 1651. And of course, because DSP only showers once a week, he has skin and hair issues, but he doesn't blame it on him not showering. No, dudes, it's because he's Italian.
Why am I so sweaty? I'm not. That's grease. I'm Italian, and my skin is greasy. I have a greasy skin. I'm not sweating at all.
Greasy skin.
Then of course, yet again, bag tweets are becoming more and more popular with DSP. So I have extra time on tonight's late stream to chill with viewers. Join me now for some Q&A to end the night. Then Meowblock with a factual observation. It's always funny to see people become full-on detractors in real time. Talking about Steven after the interview. The Outsider adds on to it. My favorite example of this was Side Scrollers. I knew nothing about either host, but by the end, you could have seen in real time as Craig and especially Adam gradually realized that DSP was full of shit. Then look at that, $35 for the night stream. What a shame. Then DSP goes on to say that anyone doing 220 as a comment or as a username is a ban on site. Then if you thought DSP paying a monthly subscription for Nexus mods was bad, he's paying a monthly subscription for his RGB lights. That is sad and pathetic. Then we have Kat Brunell. I'm not surprised Phil was labeled a 220. You can't go into a police station and talk about trolls and expect people to take you seriously. Then DSP Gout. Maybe next time, DSP, don't do a 40-minute Q&A, and maybe you wouldn't have to rush to go to the bathroom. 16 minutes of slideshows.
Wondering why everything was still on is because I had to use the bathroom so bad. I had to run out of here to make it to the to the bathroom. So I had no time to turn anything off. I was like, and I just got out of there. So now I can turn the stream off and I can finish the daily wrap and everything. So everyone who stuck around, have a good night. I'll see you all tomorrow in the morning. Peace out.
Of course, the real reason why he did that is because of low support. Then DSP said, $50 in late stream is okay if you hit your goals earlier. But then goes on to say, Elden Ring Night Rain is already in trouble for a playthrough because DSP made only $50.
Q&A. Tonight was not the most well-supported stream, but I don't really care because the first stream was super well-supported. I think I made like $50 tonight. Not a big deal. I knew that there would be way more support for the first stream regardless. But I will say this. The longevity of this game, as a playthrough, I put into question, and here's why. Much like when I do co-op games like Apex Legends or the Destiny series or anything where I have to team up with people and basically hyper-focus on the game because it's a survival-style game, I can't talk with you guys that much. So ended up almost having no conversation with anyone for the first, 2.5 or 2 hours of the stream. Then the final half hour, we hung out and did Q&A, and that went better. And in fact, no lie, I think I made just as much during the Q&A segment as I did during the 2 hours of the gameplay. So, maybe an issue. When the game finally comes out, every time I come to play it, people are disappointed because they want to hang out and talk, and I can't because I have to pay attention so much to the game. Saying, I guess we'll have to see.
Then we have Lord Diaz, who shows off a new shirt, Detractors 220. And now we talk about Monday. And first off, we have Volo, who shows off DSP in a retirement home, and it says, DSP about to do an interview to finally clean his name. Then we see a picture of a pig roast, and we have BroSydePhil, Steven, and Officer Whitney. And would you look at that, Mr. Professional is 15 minutes late yet again. Then I pointed this out because remember, DSP always says, when you get heat, people start harassing you, you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, come back with another sock account, pretend it's not you. Well, guess what? It's funny how this happened. Have you noticed that one sick puppy has slowed down his support as Flatman B has come into the DSP community and starts supported in the same amount and frequency? But it's probably just a coincidence. Then most of the pre-stream was, give me money, I want to play Yakuza, I don't care if you don't like it, just give me money. Then DSP goes on to say, I can't cook because I am working. Then the big DSP tries a reward is him trying the Shamrock Shake. And he goes on to say, I've never had a Shamrock Shake before. But I haven't had a Shamrock Shake since I was a child. He's contradicted himself in the same sentence. And apparently, DSP's definition of stalking him is if you look up something Phil did or said, that is considered stalking. Then yet again, he's looking for pity, he's looking for sympathy bucks. And he's talking about his back and his neck and all that BS. And he says he can't go to the doctor for his neck because they would make him see someone else first. But it wouldn't matter because it's chronic pain and he just has to deal with it. And of course, every single stream he has to make his wife look like an idiot. And I'm starting to think he married her so he can make himself look better because he's more functional than she is. And we have Piece of Peace simply titles this Cat WTF?
Guys, sorry I took so long. So we got a package delivered to the house during the podcast. So I bring it in. It's like the box is like crushed. And guess who delivered it? You'll take a wild guess who delivered it. Someone who we just had problems with a delivery. Remember a couple weeks ago? Same exact delivery service. So seems like there's some major issues with this company in this area. So I had to take some pictures and stuff. That's what took me so long. But now let me just grab the headphones, get them working, and then we can play Call of Duty. Okay? So hopefully what's in the box is fine. I don't know if it is. Like legit, I don't know if what's in the box is intact or not because it is like crushed. It looks like it's a big box and it looks like someone just like a hippo sat on the end of it and went and crushed the whole side. I'm serious.
Then we have Lord Diaz. Congratulations, Fawny Media. You buck broke DSP into begging less so far. GG's. Which is funny because that did not last long. Because if you think about it, when Moist Critical called him out, he pulled back a bit. When Side Scrollers called him out, he pulled back a bit. But it doesn't take too long to go back to his e-begging ways. And don't get me wrong, he's still begging like crazy, but he slowly tried to pull it back. Unsuccessfully though. Then DSP goes on to say he knows he has bots in his chat because one guy made 1,100 accounts. And DSP's going to go on to say he's not desperate for money anymore, and that proves that he has improved as a human being and as a streamer.
You know, I think, you know, for those who have come on and started watching my content in the last 6 to 8 months, they've seen that, right? The effort. That's why they're here. That's why they're willing to chill and hang out and support and all of that. And I definitely think that in regards to my setup now, things are much better. In regards to the way that I ask for support, things are a hell of a lot better. You know, back in the day, I used to do things that were kind of, I don't know, how can I say, sketchy? You know, oh my God, I need tips because I got to pay my bills this week and stuff like that. It's not the way to go about it. You know, I did that at a time when things were desperate. I was in a bad financial situation. I was making bad financial decisions left and right. And it was screwing me over. And so it kind of was desperation. Today, I'm not in desperation mode. So I don't have to act like that anymore. And I'm happy for that. I feel like when you attend a stream today, it's a lot more about hanging out and content than it is about me saying, please, please, begging, you know, and doing pity party stuff. Because I don't. I mean, what pity party stuff do I do? You know, if you support the stream today, that's great. It helps out. It allows me to continue to do stuff like you see behind me. It allows me to continue to do special events that you want to see, like special marathons, right? And you know, buy all the games that I need to buy on a daily basis without having to worry about, oh no, I can't afford it, right? All that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that you're supporting. It's not, oh, you're supporting the fact that I'm not going to lose my house, right? It's not like that anymore. Thankfully, I don't want it to be like that or ever go back to that at all. Okay. So in those regards, I absolutely positively do believe, you know, that I have improved.
I do love how he says, I did sketchy stuff. I said sketchy stuff in the past because I was desperate for money. But if you think about it, when he was doing that stuff, he would always say, oh, the detractors made that up. They're lying. They're a cult. Don't listen to them. Don't watch detractor content. They're trying to ruin my business by saying this stuff. And then years later, oh yeah, I did that stuff. Think about that, Dents. Think about how much this man is lying to you. But again, he says he's the most honest person on the internet. And he's not like other content creators. Now DSP is going to go on to say that all that drama stuff with RTU and going on Kino Casino, he was pulled into it. He was forced into it. He didn't want to do it. And now that all the money's gone, the support's gone, he just wants to be a cool, chill, down-to-earth dude. He just wants to play games and make content for people. Now keep in mind, all that money he made was on the back of drama. Think about the poker chip. Think about his appearance on Kino Casino. Think about the react to the June the King documentary on him and RTU. Think about his beefs with Ethan Ralph, COG, LTG. Everything this man does that's profitable is drama. And now he's back to being that little guy that everyone picks on. And it's not fair, dude.
I was being pulled in a direction for a while there that I just didn't want to go in. You know, every once in a while, to do something over the top, to do something silly, to do something, you know, dramatic or extreme, I get it. But I don't want the end-all be-all of myself to become drama. You know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of people wanted me to go that way, and I don't want to go that way. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you understand that. You know, because I think a lot of people were actually very nervous that I was going to go full drama content creator after I saw the success of, you know, crossover events with Kino Casino and the like, and doing some of those interviews and stuff. No, I don't want to be a full-time drama guy. I just want to, I'm happy being me, but that may mean that I have to accept the fact that I'm always just going to be at a certain level, and it's never going to really grow past that level, because today it's all about how do you blow up with drama, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. That's literally it. I don't know what else to say. It seems like that's the way to go. You know, any chance that I had of being taken seriously as a content creator, sadly left years ago when the crazy drama hit me with all this LOLCOW shit and the detractors, right? And they're never going to go away. So some people are of the impression, well, then you should just roll with that and bank on it and make that the end-all be-all of your existence. And I disagree, because that's not who I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the fact that I'm the master of my own destiny, and I can do things that I like to do. Maybe they're not the most profitable, but at least they allow me to have fun every day on a stream and to know, hey, what I did today wasn't harmful to anyone, right? I didn't make any content today that hurt anyone or scammed anyone or, really hurts the reputation of someone. Instead, I just had a day where we played games, we hung out, we had a good time. People liked the content and then supported it because of that. And everyone had, it was all positive all around, all constructive. Today's very hard to make a living being all constructive. It really is. Like, look what happened when I tried to do politics. Because I was trying to do politics that were matter of fact and in some cases middle of the road, I wasn't going ultimate extreme. It didn't do well. What politics do well today? Ultimate extreme, where you're destroying the opposition and people, they're the enemy, they're the devil, they're morons because they think differently than me. And, that's not who I am. So maybe that's the problem is I was, unlike the vast majority of people out there who get into that kind of content, I'm just not a person who's going to commit to being so one-sided, so one level. So if you are not with me, you're against me, right? If you don't agree with me, you're my enemy. And therefore, I'm going to destroy you at every moment and get ahead. Stepping on people left and right to get ahead. That's not me. All right? All these years, I respect Keemstar immensely for being a guy who knows how to make content that people want to watch and for the amount of money that he makes. But I don't like the content that he makes. Like, that's not content that I would watch or enjoy or digest myself. I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? And that's just me. Probably my upbringing and my own personal takes. And that's fine. If that, if you like it, I'm not going to sit here and criticize you. There's definitely an audience for it. But that's not me. That's the thing. The world constantly wants to pull me into that. And I don't want to be a part of it. Right? So have I changed for the better? I think so. I think what's happened is, number one, I got the opportunity to actually be more successful because I got pulled out of that level of desperation. I kind of chilled a bit. You can see my reaction to stuff like the interview where I got snaked last week, a lot more calm, a lot more not so upset anymore about this kind of stuff. It's just, to me, it's just more of the same, under the bridge, no big deal. Everything's just this, just go with the flow. I'm not going to sit here and freak out about anything anymore. What would I be freaking out about to begin with? You know what I'm saying? There's just no reason to.
And of course, what would a DSP stream be without tech issues? Because he's the smart one. He's street smart. Everyone else is book smart. They don't know what they're talking about. But it seems like you're having a lot of issues, Mr. Street Smarts.
Oh, yeah? Felipe Baxter says his chair has a very nice headrest where he can lean his head. Yeah, there goes the camera again, by the way. So I'm just going to unplug and replug the camera in because obviously the camera's having multiple malfunctions now, which is really stupid.
And then we have a very interesting point from BroSydePhil. My guess on the security cameras is that Comcast hustled them into their security package. $45 a month plus the cost of equipment. And then he goes on to say, remember when DSP kept saying, oh, nothing's working, I have 17,000 things plugged in? What if all those cameras were Wi-Fi or plugged in, and that's what's slowing all his tech down? That would be a shame. Shame, shame, shame. Then people kept getting on him about Kirk being racist and not banning him, just telling them to make a new account, come back. But they're saying all these regulars keep getting banned for no real reason. But Kirk, because he pays you, gets to slide through and be as racist as he wants. And DSP goes off on that, but then it turns into a rant about banning Derich and why he shouldn't have to because he didn't do anything on his stream. That is right. DSP's not going to say Derich by name, but you can tell he's talking about Derich. And DSP's whole thing is, well, he might have done this sketchy, weird PDF stuff off stream, but he didn't bring it to the stream, so it's none of my business. Which tells you a lot about his mentality of Derich and that whole subject.
So, there was a person who was part of our community for many years, and apparently after many years it came to light that they were involved in some underhanded stuff. Now, they never ever were involved with that on streams, nor did they ever bring it to the streams, but my stalkerish detractors looked into this particular, alright, and found out about it, and just made tons of content about it. And I'm like, I don't want to know about this. It has nothing to do with me. you're stalking the person or whatever. Well, eventually they talked about it so much that then it became like, I guess, public knowledge that this person was doing messed up stuff, you know, on the internet particularly. And I got so much pressure, all right, about it, that eventually I said, fine, I'm just going to get rid of them. If it's this big of a deal, if it's affecting the community this much, and everyone wants me to do it, then I'll ban them from the community. The funny part about it was this person was not even a contributor. This was not even a person who sent me $1. So all the argument that, oh, this is a big contributor and that's why he won't get rid of them, is complete fallacy. This was just a person who came by every day and was actually into the conversations and was a nice person. But you know what they say, you know, people, yeah, they put on a face and they maybe behave one way in one community, but in reality they have problems. And that's kind of what I think was the thing with this person. So anyway, so I banned them, right? And you think, well, that's the end of it. Oh no, because when I banned them, it's, what took you so long? What's your problem? Why didn't you ban them the very moment that someone told you that maybe they're involved in something bad and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait, what? So after all these months being pestered and told you got to do this because it's the right thing to do, and I finally do the right thing, oh, it's not good enough. You should have done it earlier, right? And that's what I mean. That's how it is with my content and my streams. It doesn't matter what I do. There's always people who complain and say that it wasn't good enough. Okay.
Then we have BroSydePhil. 220 equals ban on site. KK Kirk, nothing I can do. Then Elion talks about how DSP gets deliveries all the time and people installing stuff and whatnot, but he doesn't want the police around. And Barrett Wells talks about how it's probably because of the condition of his house and how he's let it fall to despair, which in return, they have to notify the HOA, which could cause problems for DSP. Then we have Gout. DSP is in a mood tonight. DSP ran about moderation. DSP banning people complain about Kirk and telling trolls to go somewhere else. DSP can't end early to spend time with his wife because he needs money. DSP has begged 4 to 5 times already. And look at that. That is a face of a man that loves his job and loves his life. Then remember when I said, oh, DSP pulled back his begging a bit? Well, guess what? That's all over. And now, as that being said, back to business as usual.
You know, guys, it would be great to get some level of support started before we begin. Because, like I said earlier today, we didn't even come close to hitting the goal on the Call of Duty stream. So at least to get something going right now would be very nice of you if someone contributed and got, or maybe like one contribution of each type, just to get some momentum going as we start to play the game, rather than me going in with zeros. That would be nice.
Then people kept talking about Kirk yet again. Again, why can't you ban him? Why won't you ban him? And then one person puts 220 into the chat, and this is how DSP responded.
Ivana, if you spoil it, spam the chat one more time with that stupid message, I swear I'm just going to ban you and I don't have to hear it ever again. Really, I'm just tired of it. We had this out on the podcast. You want to continue it into my late stream, you're in the wrong fucking place. So just shut up, right? Just shut the fuck up about it. You really are annoying. Holy shit. You notice we're here, we're chilling, we're having a good time. Oh, it's time to start drama. Drama. Shut up. No one cares. No one with a brain anyway. We're here to have a good time. All right. So, nothing, huh? We're not going to have our first contribution. Well, all right, I'm just going to be sour then. And then they continued, so now they're gone. I've no tolerance for people who just want to derail my chat constantly, especially because that's a troll account anyway. That's a sock account. I'm not stupid. I know who that is. They've only been in here for 3 months because they haven't broken the rules, but now they're going to start, so get the fuck out. I'm just tired of it. You want to sit here, like, we're all having good conversation a little bit here, and then all of a sudden someone has to be a dick, right? The bottom line is, do you want to be next? Really? You want to be next? You want to be the next whiner to get your ass kicked out of my chat? No one cares about this. Really, I'm tired of your shit. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. Everyone has to whine and complain. Wah, wah, wah. So here's what you do. I'm serious. Here's what you buy a PC, all right? You get your own camera. You get your own internet connection. You turn it on and you run your own goddamn stream. And then you can moderate or not moderate whoever the hell you want on your own stream. And you'll have a great time. And then if you don't like people, you can kick them out yourself. It'll be great. It'll be a great time because it'll be probably you and yourself sitting there talking to yourself all night with the way that you act. Okay? All right, goodbye. Goodbye. Don't come back. You want to keep going. He wants to keep pushing it. Keep going, right? Yeah, you can keep going. Right out the door off my stream. It's fucking people. It's so dumb.
Then we have DJ in the kick chat. For claiming not to want to talk about drama, you should bring it up all the time. Then we have the bottom line is real. At DSPGAMING real, you're in the wrong here. You know you are. Then says how DSP is aware of his behavior, of course talking about Kirk. And adds on to it, yeah, go ahead, you fuck. Ban Kirk, it's that easy, at DSPGAMING real. Then we have this from Poem Josh. Bipolar, Burnell.
Super Bonchon, I will unban them. I will unban. What were their names? You're very real. The fuck's their name? Unban. The bottom line is real. I unbanned the bottom line is real. Unban. What's the other one's name? Ya very or whatever? Ya very real? Ya. What was her name? What the fuck's their name? I can't remember. Yanere? Yanavere? What the fuck is their name? Yavana real. There, I unbanned them. For God's sakes. Oh.
And DSP still doing bag tweets as he puts this one out. Tonight, late stream is conclusion of Ninja Gaiden 2. And since we'll finish it early, let's chill afterward. Maybe we'll hit a goal and I'll try another Turkish snack. And look at that. Arms crossed, angry face. Again, a man that loves his life and his job. And then I've noticed Iron Chef Sakai slowing down on kick. However, this new one, Dumpy Koala, all of a sudden is donating all these gifted memberships. What a coincidence. And he gifts 25 subs. And DSP again doing the one day only dudes. Sub badges on sale dudes. Then DSP is going to go on to talk about how Ninja Gaiden 2 is a product of another time. And parts of it are outdated.
I actually enjoyed swapping between the other ninjas that you played as. And let's be honest, it's definitely a product of another time. Seeing these women who are mostly almost naked in the game. Like today, if this game were to come out, they never would have them clothed like that. You know what I'm saying? Things have changed in the last 15 to 20 years. But it's still something.
Then DSP goes on to say, I don't remember the last time we had time to just hang out and have a chill session like this. And Poem Josh adds on to it, it was last night. Then someone suggested Carl's Jr. for DSP Tries It. And DSP said it's not on the delivery app. They went out of business, there's not one here, called the person a liar and told them to go to hell. Then we have Next Gen guy who shows that Carl's Jr. in Washington is, in fact, open for business. Then someone asked him to eat bugs because RTU is eating bugs on pizza. And DSP said he would only eat bugs if they were gourmet and made for human consumption. And then he hit his goal and was over by $16. And you know what that means? He's now gonna beg for another $150 so he can hit that second goal, dude. And a quote from DSP, adults don't drink high C. Then DSP went on to say he classifies his current financial status as somewhere in the middle of not doing bad and doing well. Because remember guys, whenever he hypes up quote unquote his goals and begs people, it's all a joke, dude. He's just razzing people. It's not serious. Even though when he has slow support streams, come on guys, we gotta do this. I'm gonna be fucking pissed if we don't hit the goal. Then we have Otter. We hit the goal. We had enough support from various different people. We actually hit and exceeded the goal. DSP on Daily Rap talking about Ninja Gaiden. And then Otter goes on the show, $166 total. W Koala, 26 kick subs for $130. Hitman, 3617, 5 super chats. And Mars Inhabitant, $20 tip. 78% from one person, 93% from 3 people. Then Theo talks about DSP looking at the logs on Kirk and his chat history. What's so funny about DSP refusing to ban Kirk was when he looked at his logs and didn't read the dude's post but said, it's not racist, it's just political. And then an interesting point, okay DSP, if it isn't racist, why don't you read the post if they aren't racist? Then this is delusion at its finest here. So someone asked him to hire a consultant to help with your online image, to clean things up, make them more appropriate for sponsors and other collabs with other streamers. And DSP, because he's a business major, said the consultant would ask me, DSP, for help. Think about how delusional and up your own ass your head is when you say something like that when you're DSP.
Someone tipped $2 and said, what do you think about using a consultant or service to suggest ways to better your content in a business-like manner? What do you think about the idea? Maybe you consider this a possible future business expense going forward. Please tell me, what official consulting business would be able to help me with being one of the most unique streamers in the world because of the insane level of stalkers and cult-like hate watchers I have? There's a difference between, someone who's like a generalized consultant to the business or whatever would be able to help you with generalized things getting started as like a YouTube streamer or content creator versus someone who would actually have to handle one of the most annoying situations in history on the internet, right? You know, let's be honest, of all the the things that people say about me, the one thing everyone agrees with is that I'm very, very resilient, persistent, and I'm a survivor, right? Because I go through so much shit, and I just kind of don't let it get to me. I'm still here every day, no matter what. You know, a lot of people have said, after the incident, I would have quit. After this, I would have quit. After that, I would have quit. I'm not going to quit. I love what I do, and I'm not going to quit because of these idiots, right? But to be quite frank, I don't believe that there is any, generalized consulting service or group that could help me. Anyone in their right mind, okay, who actually is into that would probably be asking me questions. How in the holy hell, right, did you continue to operate after that one? How did you deal with this one, right? How did you do that? They're asking me because I'm here through all this stuff, thick and thin, longer than most people, surviving it all. Okay? So I'll be honest, I don't really think there's much that they would have to offer me. It would be more generalized advice and things that aren't going to work because of my unique situation. Like, for example, so many suggestions that have been said. Why not do a private show? Can't do a private show because my detractors will literally pay to access it, illegally rip it, and put it all over the internet, right? Why can't you do shows early? Same exact reason, okay? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? This is why. Because I have an insane group of stalkers that do messed up things. I mean, they have no bounds. They break the law ridiculously and constantly to try to get at me. So when you have an unhinged group that literally have no limits, the links that they'll go to try to hurt you, it severely limits the kind of stuff that you can do. When PPP and I first sat down and we were talking about stuff we could do with smart guys and we were brainstorming, it's like, dang, we actually had a few good ideas, but there's none of them that we can actually do because the detractors, would thwart it at every turn. So there's just not much there to work with, So, yeah. Anyway, if whoever this person is tipping and saying this, if you have something in mind and a suggestion, you could always reach out to me. We can talk. I just don't foresee anyone who actually does like consulting being able to help me. They'd probably be like, dang, well, good luck with your future, but I don't know what we could do to help you because, dang, that's a unique situation, right? Okay. So this person did another $2 tip and says, as an addendum, I thought you would appreciate the idea of hiring an outside observer to give perspective and opinion. How I envision it, the person could look up a couple of your videos and watch them and suggest improvements. You could take these suggestions and implement them or talk with your chat to get a feeling if they make sense, if you see zero value in it. See, I understand that. That's, that might not actually be a bad idea, except sadly what might end up happening is the person doesn't understand the perspective of who I am. Let's say, for example, this person has never heard of DSP or BroSydePhil before. Now, that may be actually an actual hard thing to say, because I feel like at least if you've been part of internet culture in the last decade, you probably know who I am for negative reasons. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, it may be hard to actually find someone who doesn't know who BroSydePhil is to give honest, like, outsider style suggestions and criticism. You know what I mean? Especially if this is, let's say this is a company that's into internet consulting, then they should know the internet, and they should, they probably will know who I am. So I don't know, like, I would be curious, what kind of a suggestion they would give, and if it would be anything that would actually be like even a semblance of helpful. I certainly wouldn't want to start throwing money at a company without knowing if they could legitimately help me or not in any way, right? I don't know. Right. Mayor Charlie says, to find someone who hasn't heard of you, they'd have to be from the younger generation. Yeah, I would argue, all right, last 10 years, right? Because even if you were around in 2016, you probably saw the meme, right? Let's be honest. So as long as you were on the internet actively doing stuff in 2016, you've probably heard me or heard of me, right? That's what I would say. So there you go.
Then we have Dragon, DSP 2025. I respect Keemstar and have never told people not to watch his content. DSP 2023, stop watching Keemstar. He so wants to be on Keem's good side now.
Stepping on people left and right to get ahead. That's not me. All right, all these years, I respect Keemstar immensely for being a guy who knows how to make content that people want to watch and for the amount of money that he makes. But I don't like the content that he makes. Like, that's not content that I would watch or enjoy or digest myself. I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? And that's just me. Probably my upbringing and my own personal takes, and that's fine. If that, if you like it, I'm not going to sit here and criticize you. There's definitely an audience for it, but that's not me. That's the thing. The world constantly wants to pull me into that, and I don't want to be a part of it, right?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's this simple. Stop watching Keemstar. Stop watching Keemstar. Stop watching Keemstar. Stop watching Keemstar. All right? There's only so many fucking people on the internet that can tell you this guy is scum. He's an exploiter. He's used people for personal gain way too many times, and he keeps getting away with it because people keep watching him. If people for once would actually use their fucking noggins and say, this guy's a scumbag, stop fucking watching his content, he would disappear. But people keep watching. There will be morons who will go to his fucking show now to see what he has to say. Stop watching Keemstar. He is toxic. He is a virus. He is destroying content creation as a whole. He actually just used the physical and mental abuse of Amaranth as a way to get views on his fucking show. Stop watching him.
Then DSP, living in his own world, in his own reality inside his head, goes on to say that most people don't use the word playthrough back in the day. I made it prominent. And Dragon, you sure about that, Phil? People did use the word before you, and since it has been around for some time, no one was a stranger to it.
I don't know. And no, I didn't coin the term let's play. That's ridiculous. I never said that at all. I said the term playthrough, which actually, if you go back in time, you'll find that most people never used the term playthrough. I was the one who was using it most prominently back in the day. Let's play, that is not true at all. People were using the term let's play way before I ever made playthroughs. And by the way, I hated the term let's play and never used it in my content because I didn't like it. So there you go.
Then we see a bunch of playthroughs using the word playthrough, and look at that, August, March, and June 2007, before DSP even did his videos. And then even back to 2006, people were using the word playthrough. Oh yeah, so let's see how DSP did in Call of Duty. He's had all this practice since the game launched. He's on PC, mouse and keyboard. How bad could this be?
Fuck.
Engage in tango.
Shitty ass. Almost had him.
Concussion grenade.
No, I suck. I suck. I lost it completely. Totally on me. Totally on me. Oh, fuck. What? I hit them from point blank. They didn't die. Then they barely touched me. Look at this. That's literally not what happened, and you saw on my screen. I fired first and hit them. Then all of a sudden, I was instantly killed before it even really like connected. That made no sense at all right now. It's fucking stupid. What? No. Look at this. Huh? That didn't happen. The person wasn't on there on my screen. I told you. I think the connection is gone to shit. I see. I was getting all perfect sniper shots earlier. Now I can't hit anyone because it's too fucking delayed. It's so bad, and people don't call this shit out, and it's pathetic that they don't. Call it out. The game fucking sucks online. The game is literally ass. How the fuck am I supposed to blame anything except the lag? I can't even aim and fire on the guy. Everything I'm doing when I fire is so delayed. I see. It really is like 11 milliseconds, and you're firing the shotgun, and the sound of the shotgun and the hits are coming delayed. Remember, I shot the guy, and then there was nothing, and then he was already dead, and then it said headshot on the screen about a half a second later. Yeah, 11 milliseconds. Did you see the delay? I hit him, and then it said headshot after. Yo, it says it's an 11 millisecond connection, and it's massively delayed. Why did my... Dude! Not only did the shots not register, the sound effects were delayed when I fired. Holy shit. Why did my... Dude! Nice. I had no idea that guy had gone prone. My teammate is an idiot to not see that and take them out. What a complete moron. Nice. I had no idea that guy had gone prone.
And that brings us to Tuesday. So let's check out some band names from the day before, including Fridge Stuffed Real Full, DSP's Toupee Real, Frankie Flathead Real, Cat Droolin' on BBC Real, Ram Ranch Reform, Just Send the Tip, Les on Real, RGB Shopping Trolley Real, Pillow Pants Real, It's me, Fur real. Malden moves real. Ding dong die real. Sav spit on me. Honey bun real. Little Chungus XD. Small tips felted. Alt Simps Melanie Mac real. Real tips real. Derich Imp. Fat wife snack pizza. River rejection. Freezer full of snack pizzas. Robust style flavors. 22 real. Rendon PD code 220 real. DSP line scumbag 220. Phil labeled as a 220 ha ha ha. February 20 insane real. 440 household total. Whitney cuffed me. Toot when tea. They call me 220. Miss Whitney handcuffed me. Kinda mental 220. 220 call her real. Renton 220 real. Delusions real. Lies of PPP and Big Pumper. Then we have Buffy's, who tweets out, show me two people with insane beef. Then we have Phil next to a bench press. The IRS. A showerhead. Reality. The sexy talking dirty fridge. And of course, a job application. Then we have a vampire's weakness is sunlight. Superman's weakness is kryptonite. And DSP's weakness is accountability. Then you'll probably hear about this in the future. A house built with RGB. Then DSP's going to go on to talk about how he's not going to wage quit Call of Duty. Despite attendance going down, support going down, he hit his goals, and that's all that matters.
So that was a lot of fun yesterday, okay? Did we hit the goal on that stream? No, we didn't. We got about halfway to the goal. But, you know, I'm not disappointed. Every single time that I play Black Ops 6, it's up, down, and left, right, and hit or miss. You never know what's going to happen with that. Sometimes we get a ton of people showing up, engaging and supporting, and other times we don't. It just seems to be all over the place. But the thing is, and this is the truth of the matter, some people have said to me, Phil, it doesn't consistently bring in numbers and it doesn't consistently hit your goals, so why do you keep playing Black Ops 6 so much? Like, you play it at least once a week, if not twice or more. And the answer is very simple, because now that I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, I am genuinely enjoying getting back into first-person shooters. Despite the fact that I don't think that Call of Duty is super amazing like it was back in the day, I'm seriously having a ton of fun. Like, just watch me play yesterday and watch me get something going with the sniper rifle, and I'm like, badoom, badoom, just taking people out left and right. It gives you that rush of what, endorphins or whatever, when you feel accomplished because I'm doing it on mouse and keyboard. I'm not on a gamepad with snapping auto aim and quick scoping bullshit. I'm actually playing legit on the right controls you're supposed to play the game on, and I'm actually doing well. It makes me feel good to feel like I'm earning the kills and the like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I had a great time yesterday, and I'm going to continue to play Call of Duty, even if it doesn't bring in the numbers or support that I would hope for. I still like it. You know what I mean? Like, people say, play what you like. Well, I am actually liking Black Ops 6 because the mouse and keyboard has made it feel more fun and fresh for me. So I'm going to keep it in the rotation.
Then the voices in DSP's head were having a conversation. And he said, 5 to 7 people have sent him pictures of them trying Arby's cheeseburgers after he did his DSP tries it. DSP revealed, apparently Kat got tough chicken while out with a coworker. Gotta be careful of that, DSP. Look what happened with Panda last time. She started socializing with people outside of work. Started going distant from you. Just saying. When they went to Panda Express and got food poisoning for an afternoon from it. DSP then went on to say that Panda Express is shady because they use frozen chicken in serving trays. And also said the food sits there all day, which Poem Josh adds on to it. Philip, the food is not sitting there all day under heat lamps. It's 2 hours. At 2 hours, it's thrown out and made again. They also don't just create huge batches and throw it all in. The amount made and put out is dependent on the time of day. Then DSP was saying that Steven plagiarized all his information from Kiwi Farms, but here is DSP plagiarizing all his information from Twitter. DSP's big brain thought here. The Girl Scouts are equivalent to the Boy Scouts, but for girls. And despite Yakuza never, ever, ever getting support, attendance, or people even wanting him to play it, he's determined to play it and make it work. However, you have to pay him. It doesn't matter if you like the game or like watching him play the game. Support it because he wants to play it.
Now you might say, well, I thought you were on the fence about Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I am. I still am. I'm still trying to get your feedback from everyone here about if I'm going to be doing this game or not. Again, I want to. I want to play Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I want to be able to do an awesome playthrough for you. All right? But I just don't know if people are going to show up and engage in support with this game. I would hope so. And a lot of people are saying to me, you should just play it anyway, regardless of the fact of if people show up. But the point is, I'm a public streamer. This is my content for the internet, for public consumption. As a product that you enjoy and hopefully you reciprocate with contributions, that's my business model. It doesn't make sense for me to make content that I know the vast majority of my audience doesn't want and that no one's going to support. You get it? And even if it's at the expense of me not enjoying a game. Like this happened with Metaphor last year, where I know I would have loved Metaphor. I know it. 100% I would have played and enjoyed it. But I'm not really afforded the free opportunity to just play whatever I want. I need to have people show up and support. And with Metaphor, I played it for 12 hours. I gave it 12 hours of a chance, and people wouldn't show up. So what else can I do, right? It's a challenging decision to make. I still haven't 100% decided yet. I'm thinking about if I should play it this Friday or not. So I'll let you know. And please continue to give me your feedback. All right? Please. I want feedback on this. But I am definitely leaning towards playing it because I really want to.
And a quote from DSP. Remember, you allow me to do what I do for a living. Okay. Then despite only having like 40 viewers on Kick, DSP expects 600 to 800 memberships. Of course, we all know who those memberships are coming from. But DSP's complaining he only has 600 subs on Kick. And he needs more, dude.
So FYI, I just so happen to be looking at stats for Kick. And it looks like, sadly, a lot of subs expired in the last couple of days. Like on Kick, I think the most subs I've ever had on Kick was around, which obviously is insanely tremendous, and thank you. At the at the peak of the subs I had, it was amazing. Now we're down to under 600. So it would be great if we get some more subs. For those who are watching on Kick right now, if you want to support the streams, now would be a great time to do so. Please consider subbing to the channel if you're not subbed yet. I appreciate that very, very much. Or if you'd like to give some subs to help out the community. And remember, today the deal I'm running is for 10 gifted subs, you can earn the VIP badge. And for 25 gifted subs, you can earn the OG badge. And you'll also get the VIP badge if you don't already have it. And then, of course, keep in mind that you can gift those badges to others as well. If you have a friend or someone else, a co-viewer here who you'd like to, be nice to, you could do that as well. Okay?
And then we have Zolo. She'll never know how worse her life would have been, much worse than it already was, if she stayed with Phil. And we got Phil being a creeper in 2 different pictures with Panda Lee. Then Old Man Burnell again. Games 15 years ago were better than games today. Then DSP went on a story about Marvel Rivals ending their outsourcing. And DSP said, well, if you're making money, you should not be downgrading, you should not be outsourcing, blah, blah, blah. And Poem Josh, breaking news, outsourced help isn't owned by the game studios and therefore the work they do is not secure jobs. Thanks, Phil. I never knew how outsourcing works. Then goes on to add to it, I got news for you, Phil. 70% of games production is outsourced. It's impossible and impractical for a developer to employ the amount of people required for a project full time. And then yet again, every single day, dudes, I got this one-time offer for you for the Kick badges. And it happens every single day, and he keeps saying, it's a one-day only offer, dude. And then someone asked him about the poker chips, you know, like RTU's last poker chip and the case of poker chips he used in that React. And he said he might use that in the future. Who would you use that on, Phil? Unless you use it on yourself. Then a quote from DSP. Games didn't sell in the millions until the 2010s. Then even went on to say, games were not profitable until early 2010s. Then the goals were not getting hit, and he said, I want McDonald's by Thursday at the latest. Those are the days my wife is working, and it's good we can eat one of those days she doesn't have to cook. And then Bieber Sucks adds on to it. I guess he just forgot everything he told Steven/Neo/JP about paywalling Arby's from his fat wife just a few days ago. Then every day, people ask DSP, what's your favorite this? What's your favorite that? And DSP is going to go on to explain, he doesn't deal in extremes by picking favorites. It seems like DSP is very hyper-focused on stuff.
I'm gonna be honest, I hate when people say, what is your favorite? What is your top? What is your best? I literally don't rank things like that. I know for some reason a lot of people do. They always do things in extremes or whatever. I don't. I really don't. I don't have a favorite villain. Don't. You know? Here, a villain from my childhood that I remember from time to time, and I can think of every lyric of a song that they sang. Scar from The Lion King, okay? There you go. Is it my favorite villain? No. But it's a villain that I remember. It's a villain that's very memorable for me because that was my favorite animated movie of all time.
My favorite animated movie of all time. I literally don't rank things like that. They always do things in extremes or whatever. I don't. My favorite animated movie of all time. And I remember the musical numbers were like standouts, right? But I just don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that way. I don't think in extremes at all.
And now that all the games are starting to come out, and DSP complained there's no new games, what's going on? You should start rescheduling stuff. Would you look at that? He's complaining there's too many games. What a jackass. Then DSP started up a brand new game, Avowed. And look how happy he is to do it. Let's see how well it's going for him.
That soldier in here tried to strangle me. I had to defend myself.
A likely story. You said their faces changed, but that man's face looks normal.
He still did it.
I've got a bad feeling about this. It doesn't make sense. What if she murdered that soldier and she's just trying to cover it up?
Let's hear her out before we decide.
Look, we don't have to like each other, but we can all get out alive. I left my boat at the edge of the island. It should still be there.
You'll help two Adirans after all of that?
Doesn't look like I have a choice, eh? You let me out, and all three of us can go to Paradise.
Envoy, I've tangled with Paradise smugglers before. She'd say just about anything to get out of that cell. Her story's full of holes. What if the boat's not there? What if she turns on us?
For fuck's sake, be reasonable. Don't listen to him.
I believe you. I don't know if you're guilty, and I don't care. Let's go find the key.
It's in the warden's room. They blocked it off when things went south. You can find a way in, though. You seem smart.
If we live to regret this...
She's coming with us, right? We'll just take the boat. We'll leave her here. I did take the boat, leave her here. Fuck her. Here's about her. Who is she?
Wow, Phil. I wonder why no one's throwing $150 at you. With that incredible gameplay, that incredible charisma, and that amazing gameplay from you, Phil. Then DSP's going to go on to say how Avowed would have been great if it came out in 2011. And then starts bragging about himself back in the day. And it's basically DSP jerking DSP off.
I feel like this is a game that will be solid, and if this game came out in 2011, people would be like, it's the Skyrim killer. Like, no lie, seriously. But it seems like in the modern day, people are all looking for something so much more, right? You want something that's so big, so groundbreaking, so different, that people today will just crap on the game and say it's not good. But this is the kind of game that when I started as a YouTuber, I would play a game like this and do a playthrough that would be like, 60, 70 hours, and people would be like, one of your best playthroughs of all time. But times have changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, basically people just, everything changes and people just aren't satisfied anymore with anything.
Then we have 672, who re-ups his membership and says, vests were better rewards than watching you snack. Then in the kick chat, we had Celebrate Gout 220 Real banned. And then despite DSP always saying, I can't cook, I work all day, he now says he's cooking bison burgers for dinner tonight. Then we get the DSP Reacts. And man oh man, I've never watched an entire broadcast of this show before, and it'll be the very last time I watch the complete broadcast of this show ever again. The begging and cringe was off the charts. And if you don't believe me, watch this video.
We did get a generous $25 tip here.
Oh, that's more like it. Although we would appreciate a 0 on there, let's be real. But that's better than the other peasants. That's better than the worthless slime that we're donating 2 and 5 and 1 and pesos and Singaporean seashells and whatever the fuck else.
Actually,
cold, hard U.S. greenback.
To be honest,
U.S. dollar, 25 bucks.
I think Singaporean dollar might be more than the U.S. dollar, so actually that I gotta check on that. Singapore is actually a very rich country. They are.
Cuban is digging in his couch cushions. But the thing is, you're going to have to get to your bank. So you're going to have to be on the West Coast. I don't know if they're going to allow you to deposit your small change from the couch cushions into the bank before the end of this broadcast and then transfer it to us. I'm not sure. So do you have anything in your PayPal account by chance?
Before I forget to say.
They're like, this guy is loud. He's obnoxious. He's fat. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no shit. That's the whole point. This guy sounds like Gilbert Gottfried. I'm Malago, my your majesty. We love you, king. Oh, my God.
So perhaps now we should actually start talking about wrestling.
Halfway there. We're begging on a prayer. Whoa, halfway there. Living on a prayer.
Here we go,
Cave for $10. Let's fucking go! The interdimension demon alien elf detractors are the one attacking Phil. What you don't understand is the detractors aren't even human beings. Their blood doesn't beat bread like ours. They have cold, cruel blue blood in their veins. They are nothing but alien interdimensional entities attacking the King of the Earth Federation, BroSydePhil. And by God, we will defeat them. We will send the aliens back through the interdimensional portal and show them what for. By God, we have a Second Amendment for a reason. And we will rise up and defeat these demon detractors and send them back to hell where they belong. USA! 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 Let's get some support!
Or else people are going to be pretty upset.
Withholding. I don't give a shit if they're upset. What matters is if we get paid. That's it. It's about getting paid and getting laid. Everything else, if you ain't first, if you don't hit the goal, you're last. That's what DarkSidePhil always taught me. All right, fine. Let's do wrestling.
It feels like they're just kind of
back and forth on the X and Y axis to entertain yourself.
There you go. You got to do something.
It's day one, yeah, it's me, day one, yeah, that's me, It's day one, yeet.
Attempt to get a new audience. Do you think a single person who watches Daytona said, "Oh, I heard he's going to be on Raw. Let me watch it tonight"? No, like I don't understand their crossover.
There might be some sort of overlap between NASCAR and wrestling. You don't think there are any inbred cousin fuckers in the South who watch both NASCAR and wrestling, Phil?
The other thing that is so dumb about these unsanctioned matches is they always promote them like someone could like die during the match because no one's there to stop it. It's like, no one can die because even if it was unsanctioned and you kill someone, you're still gonna get arrested and go to fucking jail. Like, what are you talking about? They act like in the world of WWE, the law doesn't apply. It's like, yes, it still does if you were to accidentally murder him.
I always thought, I'm like, why don't they just bring a gun? You know what I mean? Because apparently you can do anything. Like, they get away with the most brutal assaults, like unsanctioned shit in the back. Why doesn't somebody bring a knife or a gun? Or something, or like Chlora.
Let's just get everyone, just give whatever you can get, one sub or one membership. Everyone just one. Just get you for one. Everyone.
Sub right now. If everybody could just chip in one sub,
just
for $1 or even $1, we would hit the goal right now.
That's right.
Can everybody listen? Let's channel it right now. I want you to pull out your credit cards from your wallets, yeah. I want you to feel my energy coming through the TV screen, coming through your laptop or your mobile phone device. I want you to lay your hands upon the device, and I want you to feel the energy of Philomania. I want you to feel the energy of smart guys. I want you to feel it. Hallelujah. Drive it through your body and be healed. Now pay. Pull out your credit cards. Whatever illness you might have, if you pay now, God will heal you. And if not, you didn't have enough faith. But for those of you who have enough faith to pull out your credit cards and make a simple financial contribution to this show, the Lord God will prosper you tenfold. It's the prosperity gospel. Hallelujah. Don't you know the Lord doesn't want you to live in poverty? He wants you to be rich, not just in spirit or in a heavenly kingdom to come, but on this earth. He wants you to be wealthy. He wants you to have it all. But you have to give to receive. You have to give to BroSydePhil. He needs your money more than you do, but God will return it tenfold. Hallelujah. Let us all give. Let's not withhold right now. Feel the gospel of the bag. Feel the gospel of prosperity. It's the holy rollers. It's the hallelujah and amen, Brother Phil. Let's make it happen.
I'm being asked
and there
to actually.
was no support.
No. We didn't even get a single sub.
And there was
Not even
no
a single
support. That was because that was blasphemy, chat. That was wrong. We can't invoke Jesus to grift, apparently. Even though on every Sunday it happens.
That is.
Even though every Sunday
that is
they get
very
away
true.
with it.
That is very
but not
true.
Not in this pulpit. Apparently not.
I didn't use the Pignosis properly today. That's the problem.
All this energy and yet not one sub.
I'm reaching out to you now. I'm using the powers of Almighty Pignosis right now. All right? I'm destitute. If you don't send one sub or one membership or one super chat or one tip right now, how am I going to try the Shamrock Shake the next couple of days? I need to have the Shamrock Shake. Don't you understand? This delicious mint flavor. And you've been waiting. I haven't even ever had the Shamrock Shake on DSP Tries It ever before. It's unprecedented. You want it. You know you want to see it. It's something new. Did you know that the McDonald's episode of DSP Tries It that I did a few months ago is the most viewed episode of DSP Tries It I have done since I brought the series back? Let's get one of each.
You. And I love this show. I love this show, Phil. They thought we were going to cancel it. But the beggar powers unite.
Then DSP goes on to say that he now wants his hate watchers, his trolls, his detractors to start supporting him. But at the same time, he's not willing to allow them in his community at all. And now, DSP's going to respond to BroSydePhil's interview with a cop and him being labeled a 220.
Green Man for 5 says BroSydePhil called the officer that Phil spoke with and said he was labeled a 220, which is code for a mentally unstable person. But Phil is the most stable guy I know. Phil shows up and does streams 6 days a week. Phil, are you a 220,
I don't know.
Phil?
I wouldn't know and I wouldn't care. First of all, I don't even know if he spoke with the real person I spoke with because I didn't give him the name. So if he found through some kind of research who this was. Also, if you actually think that anything he does is reputable, like how could you ever verify that what he said is real? Even if he recorded a conversation, it doesn't mean it's the person he says it is. It could have been somebody coached into a conversation.
An actor. I thought it was a hired actress, to be honest. Like the idea that years later she's gonna remember you.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe you really are that remarkable and unique of an individual that she would remember.
Right.
But they're dealing with so many calls a day, a week, a month, a year. And then it's like, why are you taking your time to answer this random guy for a half hour on the phone? calling him a 220.
Doesn't make sense. And I had the conversation that I had with that person was short. It was maybe 10, 15 minutes. It was mostly about the death threat that I had gotten and then them filing the police report and all of that. And then just as the aside was me talking about, hey, I get thousands of dollars of chargebacks via PayPal. Would you ever look into that and help me with that? That was it. And the answer was no, we don't do that, you know.
Next, DSP's gonna retcon and lie about his role at the helicopter company. This man can't stop lying. What a pathetic little man.
Well, I wasn't the head trainer. Oh, no. I was in my department. I was the guy responsible for continuous improvement. So I actually ran a huge event where everyone involved with this process got together, and we were in boardrooms constantly. We were doing these, mapping it out. Where's the bottleneck? What's not working? What's working? And we redesigned the entire process from the ground up. We had the IT department redesign the whole coding of the process to put in the part information and shit. And it took like a year. It took like a year of my job was doing that. And then after that, they basically didn't know what to do with me because they didn't need me in customer support anymore. And they laid me off. So I did all that work, and then they fucking cut the cord and laid my ass off.
Then Poems Josh. Philip believes the problem with his detractors are that they are extreme for no reason, due to trying to make money, and all they should be doing is light razzing and not monetizing anything. That's right. DSP's biggest problem is that detractors are making money, because that's money that's owed to DSP in his mind. Then DSP was asked, will he allow hate watchers into his community? And he said, if they work with him on stuff, aka give him money. PPP then asked DSP why he doesn't embrace the memes and take the power away from the detractors. And DSP talks about the frog meme, which he did it later, way later on, and nobody cared anymore. And get ready for yet another retcon.
Tired of seeing this shit.
Here's my solution. Let him spam it and then sell a 220 BroSydePhil t-shirt.
Well, see, that's the problem is none of these idiots would ever spend $1 to actually help. They're just there to fucking derail my business. So if that were the case,
maybe if we should embrace the detractor memes and have fun with it instead of seething.
If I were to roll with the meme and they actually would be like, ha, that's funny. Okay, then we'll actually throw Phil a bone. Then I would. Like I've done that before. Many years ago, there was a meme, a frog, like a cartoon frog that they were all posting. And I have no clue what it was, but it was a detractor meme. So I said, you know what, that's funny, let's start using it. And I actually had them make a meme, like my face as the frog and shit. And guess what happened? When I owned the meme, they all just stopped using it and it just went away. Because they didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Well, then that's the solution. You own the meme, and then they'll stop doing the meme, and then you don't have to ban it. You see what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying. I totally get that, but what's the point? It's already done. Like, they're trying. And
because then you stay positive, and you're having fun, and you're winning, instead of being perceived as seething and banning and losing. You see what I'm saying?
But I get it, but who's perceiving me like that? Not my viewers. My viewers are annoyed that they see.
And look at that. LOLCOW Tech Talk, 1.2k watching. Smart Guys, 252 people watching. Great success. Then DSP goes on to talk about the cameras that the officer talked about and said, we don't have a ton of security cameras, just a few. And he also said that a lot of these cameras were focused at his mailbox. Oh, but the fun didn't end there. Because on Tech Talk, RTU was getting fired. So everything went off the rails and Jay just let loose about DSP and the truth about him. And then he also found out about the tattoo that Rich wants to get of DSP's face on his ass.
It's not DSP, guys. I would not work with DSP. DSP's like a fucking... It's like watching paint dry to me. You guys realize all the people that make fun of DSP, that post about DSP, clips and all that stuff, the only reason he's relevant is because of you guys. You guys are just as complacent as DSP is, because if everyone just stopped watching him, no one would watch him. And that'd be the end of him. But you guys just push him and push him. And that's what he makes the money on. You guys are as complacent as DSP is. DSP doesn't have an ounce in his molecules. He doesn't have a fucking molecule in his body that is talented. Nothing he's ever done in his whole career has amounted to anything that anybody should be proud of. Now, I'm not saying this to be mean to the guy, but he's got a fucking ego like he thinks he's king shit. Phil,
it's so true.
No one actually fucking cares about you. Like, I don't know if you're a good guy behind the scenes, but this whole act of like whatever you're trying to do now.
He's not.
If this isn't an act, dude, it's over. It's embarrassing.
I mean, did you heard the whole thing about they talked to a detective that talked to him, right? And he has an official code of 220 being mentally unstable.
Oh God!
At the police department. Are you shocked by that? Are you shocked?
I mean, listen to this. The most popular thing he ever did was shoot a load on stream. That's it. Like, could you imagine in 100 years they're like, "Hey, who's this guy? DSP? What's this? Oh yeah, that's the guy that shot a load on his stream."
That's what David Jaffe said yesterday. He was like, "Oh, is that the guy who jerked off?"
See, look, David Jaffe doesn't even know who he is, except the fact that he jerked off. Okay.
And it was like a knee-jerk reaction when he said, like, "Oh, that's the guy who jerked off." He's like, besides that, I don't know anything else about him. How many people do I hear say that? That's the guy who jerked off. That's the guy who jerked off. And you know what? We've talked about this on my show back in the day. You know how much money he could have made if he capitalized on that right when it happened? He could have been a millionaire from jerking off. Look at the fucking Hawk Tua girl.
Yeah, I know. You and I tried to help him with that.
Yeah.
He's so dumb.
Look at
all he had to do is print those shirts.
She became a multi-millionaire describing how she sucks cock. And she did a rug pull with crypto, then she may have legal issues with that now, but that's besides the point. Like, and he.
But anyways,
yeah. Anyway, we're going on with Phil. We're talking about Phil.
Who gives a shit? I mean, that's what he wants. That's how he gets his free advertising. He gets free advertising because he's retarded. That's it. Could you imagine your whole career is based on you being a retard, and that's how you make your money? Like,
well, yeah.
Well, I didn't mean that to you, but.
I'm just saying. I mean, if we're gonna just be fully transparent here.
Okay, but you're not as retarded as he is.
Yeah, I'm not. I have a modicum of self-awareness, I think.
Are you? Wait a minute. Did I hear you're getting a fucking tattoo of DSP or something?
If we hit a certain amount of members on my channel, yes.
How many members?
I was saying 1,500 by the end of March. It's a tall order, but I'm doing something where I'm literally tattooing Phil as Castlevania, and he would be. And I thought of you. You gave me the idea in a way. Remember, you used to call him Fat Dracula.
Yep.
So
wait a minute. What are you at right now?
I don't. Oh, I could check on my phone actually.
Guys, did you hear what he just fucking said? If he hits 1,500 members, he's gonna get a DSP tattoo. You know what, motherfucker? I'm gonna make that happen somehow. I'm gonna make that. You're getting that fucking tattoo, dude. Every time I stream, I'm gonna send people to your channel just to gift members.
Let me see how many I have.
No, he's got to get it. He's got to get a tattoo. I just can't believe it.
I have 616. Like I said, tall order. That's almost like around 900 members to get.
900 members. How much money is that? I'm almost willing to pay it myself. How much is that?
You motherfucker.
That's like a few thousand, right? No, that's like. Let me do math on that.
Then Wings of Redemption joins in and talks about how he's a Phil simp, and he wishes Phil would go back to his original content, being racist and sexist, and how the trolls ruined it for him.
Wings, listen, this motherfucker's gonna get a DSP tattoo on his ass if he hits 1,500 members.
I don't understand why you're so obsessed with that man.
But
y'all make
listen
me
to me
for fucking DSP and Becky all the fucking time.
But hang on. Hey, forget all that.
Pause.
We have to make that happen for him somehow.
It's gonna be if you have you ever played Castlevania on the NES, Wings? The box art on there.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm gonna make Jay made the joke of Fat Dracula back in the day, that Phil looked like Fat Dracula. So I'm gonna make Phil's face Dracula, and I'll explain to you my obsession.
I mean, he's pale enough.
It's like watching A&E. It's like if you watch Hoarders on A&E. Phil's like that, or people who watch like My 600 Pound Life or whatever the show is. Phil's like watching one of those reality shows. It's like the fucking Truman Show. That's what it is.
How do you feel about his new setup? Have you made a comment on this yet? The 2-camera setup?
It's weird. It doesn't make he needed to do upgrades, but it's weird. Like he did it like he has like just cameras in random places. Like a side angle for no fucking reason that he has no reason to use. He's doing an AI green screen where it like he's just floating in space as he's playing games. And the funny thing is he made fun of me for using a green screen at first, and then he used a green screen.
What year was the first year you learned about Phil?
Oh God. It was actually had nothing to do with Phil. It had to do with the when they were doing that Stop Online Piracy Act, and and he had a video saying like, you know, contact your congressman, and this is before everyone knew he was a retard. So it was like, all right, cool. I like what this guy's doing because I did a bunch of videos on that, and then he just became the Phil that we knew now. Like he just all the cracks started to show. And everyone, including me, just became fascinated with him because it was like watching someone run into a brick fucking wall, and they didn't know, and they were blaming the wall for being in their way.
Barry, thanks for the super chat. I'll check it out after the show.
I actually really enjoy that Phil. I think Phil's trolls ruin the Phil content most of the time.
Do you really?
I 100%. Like when Phil was like Dead Space 2 level Phil, where he's making like the Nazi jokes and being real sexist and like constantly being edgy, like that was the fun Phil to watch. Like now Phil's more reserved. He kind of thinks about what he says. He has his opinion, which feels smart. Like I'm always going to be a Phil simp when it comes to this because I've talked to the man multiple times. He's intelligent.
What the fuck is going on?
He just doesn't make intelligent moves when it comes to business.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused right now.
What happened?
What just happened?
You're saying he's intelligent.
If you never spoke with him, is he just never actually spoke with you?
Wings, DSP is retarded.
Yeah, I wouldn't say retarded so much as he's socially inept.
Well, that's true.
No,
that's 100% true.
I think after the stream's done, he fucks him up and goes to bed. He's retarded.
And now we're going to look at Wednesday. But before we do that, let's look at a classic throwback. If you ever want to know what DSP is like fully masked off, not cracked, not slightly off, but fully off, this is the clip for you.
So thanks a lot for the views, you stupid fucking retarded morons. I love it when I fool all of you into being fucking idiots like you are, and you basically pay me for nothing. So thanks a lot. Anyway.
Next up, we're going to look at band names for the day before, including Darkside Whitney Real, Kino Casino's Pet LOLCOW, Laughingstock Online 20 years, E-Baggin Parasite Real, Cat Musty Gerbil Cage Smell, Commitment to Her Fake, Paywall Gaming Real, DSP Gaming 220 Real, Wendy Said 220, Kino Pet 220 Real Sad, DSP Protects PDS 4 years Fact, Where is Burnell Dent, Fat Balden Pet LOLCOW, Kino Casino Bouncer. Then we have a clip from Kino Casino where PPP says Diggers hates Phil because he is Phil.
Fully admitted it. It always gets retconned. He's kind of like DarkSidePhil in this way, where he tells a story, then everybody shits on him, then he changes it, everybody still shits on him, points out the discrepancies and the lies, then he changes his story again. And you know, the guy talks about like Phil e-bagging this or that. Holy fuck, is review tech e-bagging these days, like pleading fucking poverty.
Then DSP Dent River Rejection puts this on Twitter. I've lived with cameras outside the 2 houses I've lived at for my entire life, way before I even knew who Phil was. See, If you guys ever give me a chance to appear on one of your guys' live streams to let me have my say, I wouldn't have to explain these things. He did show up in Lord Diaz's chat though. He was civil, nothing really came about it though. And now, DSP, the man who spent over $100,000 on WWE Champion mobile game for digital JPEGs, now wants physical JPEGs as he now wants to collect WWE trading cards. And not only that, he wants you to pay for them so he can open them up on stream. Then we have Dick Stroke and Phil vlogs. We have evolved from WWE Champions addiction to a Topps Chrome WWE card addiction. Progress. Then DSP goes on to say, collecting cards is insane because he can't buy the highest level cards that he wants. It's not fun. And that tells you the mindset, especially in mobile games. Oh, I don't want to grind. I don't have to wait. I don't want to wait. I'm just going to buy the most powerful OP cards, whatever is in the game, so I can beat everyone. I can just throw money at it. Doesn't matter. The devs will give me more money. Then goes on to say, he needs the most expensive box of WWE cards so he can get the special cards. But man oh man, just like DS Politics, Smart Guys is slowing down. DSP has announced he's canceling Smart Guys next week because PPP is streaming on Kino Casino and he doesn't want to do it alone. He needs PPP to be the hype man, aka talk 78% of the show. Then a quote from DSP about how PPP making him $400 a day is an insane day that he never gets. Now keep in mind, he splits it with PPP, so it's actually $200, and a good day is just hitting the goal. And as Poem Josh points out, your goals are $150 a stream and 2 in a day, aka $300. Then despite DSP calling other content creators nerds for everything in their background and blah blah blah, he's going to use that as an insult when he has every single thing they have in his background.
And it's completely sold out. Yep. In fact, all of these cards are sold out completely. You can't buy any of them on Walmart.com. They're completely sold out. This is just crazy to me. This is just wild to me, how insane collecting is. Like, you just can't have fun. It's like, oh, I think I'm just going to do some on a whim. I want to buy some trading cards. I haven't had some since the 90s. Oh, no, those were sold out. You have to pre-order them. Wait, what? I can't just go buy trading cards? Oh, no. Can't. What? No, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you pre-order 3 months ago? Oh, of course. Right? The spirit of trading card collecting. Pre-order 3 months in advance. That makes sense. Right. It was the same thing, like, to give you some perspective here, all right? So in the 1990s, I was getting into collecting, and another thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to collect action figures, okay? Now, I was a kid, so I wanted to play with the action figures, but I also was a collector. And whenever the new action figures came out, I'm not kidding you, a bunch of fucking nerd-ass collector fucks who were like 40 years old would line up outside of the fucking toy store in the morning of the shipment, waiting for the doors to open, and then they would rush the counter saying, did you open the box of figures yet? Because we're looking for the rare action figure. Meanwhile, the kids can't buy the toys because the dumb fuck nerd collectors would rush the store and buy all the toys. So the kids would have to wait like 8 months to get the new toy because some fucking nerd bought it first. And my dad, imagine my dad. All I want is, the new Spawn figure that's coming out. Overkill. I want the new Overkill figure, but that's the rarer figure. You can't really find it. It's like the Chase figure in the box. Good luck. I hope you're ready to fight a bunch of nerds just because your son wants the fucking action figure and actually wants to play with it. Good luck getting it because the nerds are there first. So, no.
And I'm sure this will not shock anyone. DSP admits he has $0 in savings and also goes on to say people are jealous of him and his success. And then follow that up with, he doesn't make that much money on stream. Then DSP has said this about his bank account as well, where people that put money in bank accounts are hoarders. Now he's saying that people that buy physical games and products, that is an illusion. You don't really own anything, and you're just hoarders. And still talking about the WWE cards, saying that owning them is not the fun part. It's opening them to see if you got anything good. And then he claimed that buying used games ruins your disc reader. Then he went on a rant yet again about AI, saying how it should not be used for work or videos or anything like that. It should be used to do household chores like doing the dishes and cleaning. And also wants his litter box to be cleaned out by AI. Then we had someone say to Phil, "I'll give you a sub bomb if you answer my email." And Phil, "No, you tip me now and I promise I'll answer your email." What a great, honest guy, dude. And now DSP's gonna defend him e-begging and saying it's hard work. He bust his ass. And people are jealous because of his success for working so hard.
No, I'm not talking about, when I say big streamers, I'm not talking about Kino Casino. They ask too, right? They have to ask. Listen, we're working people, all right? We're not some fucking e-celeb where we turn on the stream and people are sucking our dick already and immediately showering us in fucking, money. We actually have to work for a living, But it's all good. I'm okay with earning my keep. I'm okay with putting out content for you every day and enjoying what I do and then people reciprocating. That's all good. It's the people who have issue with that are the jealous motherfuckers. Seriously. People who wait, I can't do that, so I'm angry that they're doing it and they're successful. They can't take it. Wait, I'm working a schlub-ass job in real life. I couldn't do what they do. That's bullshit. I'm so upset. So now I'm going to fucking sit there and crap on them. Yeah, it's called heinous jealousy. It's what I used to have for Keemstar. Admittedly, 100%. It's what I used to have for Keemstar. I was upset that he was making a good living, doing what he was doing, and I was busting my ass and not barely getting by, and I became a hater. And that's a horrible way to go through fucking life. It really is. Instead of being a hater, get some initiative, get off your fucking ass, work, and get better. Anyway.
And if you want to see how bad the begging is, because it's definitely back. He is back to his usual begging ways. Well, let's see how bad the begging got.
I mean, see? So there's this thing. This thing is called ask and you shall receive, okay? Because some people are like, well, don't you think that you ask too much? No. I'm obviously not asking enough because I don't hit the goal every stream, right? I should be asking more and in more creative ways because that's how you make a living. Not by sitting around expecting that everyone's just going to give you everything. You have to work for it. You have to earn it. You have to be vigilant, and you have to be determined. You have to actually bust your balls if you want to get ahead in life. You can't just be a fucking schlub, which a lot of people want to be. I don't understand. All these big streamers, they just sit around like schlubs and people shower them in money. Yeah, it's because people are stupid. Right? My viewers aren't stupid. I got to ask. But you like that, and then we have a good time together because we give good content and I make a good living, right? So look, this is hilarious. Someone just said, I'm jealous of a 40-year-old with zero savings. Yes, you are, or else you wouldn't have said that. Get it? Because people who aren't jealous don't bother responding. Get it? If you are, you're like, whatever, you just move on. You don't actually stalk something you don't like unless you're jealous of it. Get it? Right? Like all the hater base of people who are successful, it's because you wish you were them. It's that simple. Or else you wouldn't be here whining in the chat. You would have just ignored it. But you can't because you're jealous. Gabriel with a $2 super chat says, you're ruthless, Phil. I'm ruthless. I'm ruthlessly aggressive when it comes to e-grifting, I guess, which is all good. If people are enjoying the content, I'm making a living, you get great stuff, I make out, like we all win. There's no problem with this whatsoever. The only people who have a problem with it are people who are jealous and not good at it themselves and wish that they could do it. That's simple. Thank you. All right, so for real talk to everyone here before we get started with the game, I really would like to hit the goal on this stream. So there's only one goal left for DSP Tries It, which probably is going to end up being tomorrow. Please, let's hit the goal. We're already at like around 60. So let's just do it. Please, guys, if you haven't contributed in a while, might be a good time to do it. All right, let's make it happen. Should we go?
DSP then claimed that no one knew what Cthulhu was in the 1990s. You know, despite there being games and books and literature. But no one knew, dude. Then DSP tried out yet again another walking simulator. And look, it's a cat simulator. It has a picture of a woman at a desk and just says X to sit down. Then we have Dragon. DSP. Her mom is an enabler. Dragon, look at your wife, Phil. Look at her. And then look in a mirror.
Thanks, Mom. Okay. Now, Dark Crystal. Where'd you hide it, Fluff Butt?
I'm not so sure she needed the snack. What was that? Who said what? What was that? I think Mom's an enabler. Who said that? What? What's going on? I'm hearing whispers.
And starting now, but not really starting now, goals now take your buy-in. That is right, games need your buy-in. Goals need your buy-in. Supporting the stream need your buy-in. Videos on demand need your buy-in. Everything involving DSP needs your buy-in. Then DSP keeps doing this over and over. This is his new catchphrase, where he'll say something and say, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it.
This is hilarious. Someone just said, I'm jealous of a 40-year-old with zero savings. Yes, you are, or else you wouldn't have said that. Get it? Because people who aren't jealous don't bother responding. Get it? If you are, you're like, whatever, you just move on. You don't actually stalk something you don't like unless you're jealous of it. Get it? Right? Like all the hater base of people who are successful, it's because you wish you were them. It's that simple. Or else you wouldn't be here whining in the chat. You would have just ignored it. But you can't because you're jealous.
And of course, every time there's a black person on the screen, DSP has to bite his nails. Then DSP tilted the camera to look at the ceiling fan and say ceiling fans today are very different. Now keep in mind, in the past, when he had all that Kino money coming in, he bought a new fan and had someone install it, and I believe it was an RGB light too. Then an interesting thought from Mr. Ludacris. Do you reckon DSP's massive tits are why he has a bad back? And despite DSP being a child of the 80s and 90s, he said AOL didn't give out floppy disks.
Okay, floppy disk. Digital Dial-Up Express. Join Cyber America. Log into the future. Well, this is baloney. And here's why I say this is baloney. This actually is someone who was not around in the 90s, all right? Yes, the free online services were very prominent. America Online was the biggest one. They did not give out these discs. It was CDs. They gave out CDs like effing crazy, but the discs were not prominent. So if this were a CD, I'd be like, yeah, this is dead on. But the discs were very rare, actually, because everyone was going CD-based. So this is false. That's baloney.
Then we see a picture of an AOL floppy disk that DSP said didn't exist. And then despite the way his wife looks, DSP goes on to still fat shame the character in the video game.
Anything else with this? Prom style.
Nice try, Mom. I'll never go to a dance. Like, what would be the point?
Maybe there would be a point if you would stop snacking so much. Wait, oh, who said that? I don't... It's Mean Girl stuff. I can't be saying that. That's like, Anyway, what's...
Then DSP got his goal, so he gets his McDonald's. And we have the Geek. $300 fatty McDonald's goal hit. $220 from 2 people. Very organic there, dude. Then DSP goes on to claim Smashing Pumpkins was not punk. They were old rock. A next gen guy corrects him and says it was alternative. Then DSP got his Shamrock Shake, and PWOP points this out. Best part of the DSP tries it when he drinks the minty Shamrock Shake and then the orange juice back to back and was surprised that it tasted bad. Then we get to the night stream, and DSP is angry because the only tip he got so far is $51. And he's upset no one else is supported, despite getting over $300 on the previous stream. Then DSP is just realizing that Lost Records and Life is Strange have cringe writing in it. Imagine that after playing like, 5 or 6 of these games, you're just now realizing how cringe the writing is in this game. Then you can probably tell how big No Sleep Real Vibes is, where he says his order from McDonald's is just a Big Mac with large fries, bottled water, and 2 spicy McChicken sandwiches. Then DSP has a message for all the haters. Detractors should stop bringing up things from 5 years ago. They don't mean anything anymore. Now, despite this guy always bringing up the helicopter job, the Wolverine doll, how Twitch kicked him out of the partnership program, and much, much more.
Was in it, but I didn't look. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Again, the stuff that people are still obsessing over and bringing up, oh, he's so dishonest about this, is stuff from so far in the past. It's stuff that doesn't affect today at all. Oh, in the past, he was begging while he didn't need money, or he needed the money, but then he spent it on something else. That was 5 years ago. It's 2025. I'm not in bankruptcy anymore. I'm good. I'm not destitute. I'm not sitting here begging you to pay my mortgage, right? So what are we talking about? But the problem is that some people are so effing obsessed with these things from the past and act like they're still pertinent to today, or that they're still happening today. They're not. And the thing is, it's to the point where it's kind of like, it's sick behavior, because it's not something that I can change. Like, how do I change someone from being insanely obsessed when what they're saying is ridiculous and doesn't apply to reality today? I don't know. I really don't know how to stop that behavior, because it's not me creating it anymore. It's basically them not being able to be willing to look at reality anymore. They want the negative thing to be true, and so they wish it to be true, and in their mind it is true, even if it isn't, right? No, I'm not sitting here asking people to go crazy beyond their means to contribute to my content. No, I'm not milking people who are on disability. No, I'm not saying, please pay me money or else I will lose my home and I will lose everything. I don't do that. There was a time many years ago. That's in the past. Now, things are very different. So, the thing is, I'm just going to be honest with everyone. If you're obsessed about one point from 5 to 10 years ago, you can't get over because you don't think you ever got the truth out of me, move on. Because it doesn't apply. It's completely worthless. The point you're obsessed with, it's mania. It's actual mental illness. There's no reason to be worrying about that shit that doesn't even apply anymore, right? I've admitted that I spent tons of money on mobile games. I've admitted that I was bad with my money and I blew it or didn't spend it right or racked up credit card debt or, got backed up on my taxes. I've admitted that I asked for money in ways that I never should have. And that was years and years ago, right? Today, things are different. So what's the point? Why are we still talking about it? Can we please move on? Like, really, can we? Aren't we at a point now where things are different? Look at what's going on with me now, right? I'm doing consistent content with other creators. That's good content. I'm branching out and playing different kinds of games. My setup is completely different, right? I'm doing 2 angles on my show, right? Awesome content, amazing stuff. Why are we harping on back when I was some rinky idiot, right? Was blowing all his money on nonsense, didn't even have $1 to spend on his groceries because he was so irresponsible. Why are we talking about that when that was over 5 years ago? I don't get it. I don't. It's like people can't understand that people have the capacity to change for the better. If you don't believe that, then you shouldn't stick around the people you don't like. Seriously. Thank you. Captain DCW says, I call this the evolution of Phil. I appreciate you saying that. Really, I do. You notice the stuff that they have problems with, I don't talk about. They bring it up. It's like they're obsessed. They can't believe that Phil changed for the better. So now they have to bring up the things from 5 years ago over and over and over because there's nothing to talk about anymore. There's no valid argument about what I'm doing anymore. I'm literally not nearly as bad as half the content creators out there doing this right now.
Then we have this message in the kick chat from Iron Chef Sakai. Next Smart Guys, I'll be mod. Then we saw all the receipts from BroSydePhil about Officer Whitney, 220, going to his house with all the cameras and all that stuff. So now, Phil's gonna say that officer was an actress. He faked the whole thing, and BroSide is making everything up.
I don't follow the detractor stuff, So apparently that BroSydePhil did another stream, and in this stream he claimed he talked to the policewoman who supposedly I talked to, but I guess she's not a policewoman anymore. And then she says, oh, I remember the conversation if it was a weirdo. And I guess he said she came to my house and I had a bunch of cameras. No one ever came to my house. It was a phone conversation. I don't have any cameras at my house at all, and I never said that I did. I don't know where all that information is coming from. It's complete false. Like, I don't have it. My neighbors actually have a Ring doorbell. And along our main road, because we live in a private community, the main road has a couple cameras off of the side of people's homes. And we do have a camera pointed at our mailbox because a few years ago, it was like 5 years ago, someone came in. We have a common mailbox where all of our mail is kept. It's all locked up. Someone came by and wrecked it. Like, they came by with like a hammer or an axe and they destroyed it and stole everyone's mail. I don't know to what end. It's not like there was like valuable items in there or anything, so I don't know what they were thinking, but they did. They stole all our shit. So after that, we installed a better lockbox that's like super high quality, and now we have a camera on that. So if someone does steal the mail, we can get it back. You know, we try to get them arrested and get our mail back. But outside of that, I don't have any cameras on my house. Like personal cameras on my home. I don't have any. So I don't know where that came from. Because yesterday PPP asked me about it on Smart Guys as part of the Grill Phil segment, and I was like, what? Like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. I never said I had cameras. I don't have any cameras on my house. Oh, like I said, I think a couple people do have the Ring doorbells around here, and we have to have that very general one along. I think there's 2 homes. There's a camera pointed at the main road coming in, and there's the one on the mailbox, I think. But that's all I know about. So I don't know where they get their crazy stories and information from at all. It's just bizarre, the shit they make up. So it just proves that it's false. Like, whoever he had who's impersonating this officer who I talked to is a liar. It's not really the officer. Because they were never here. No one ever came out here for their police report. And there's no cameras that they're talking about. They made it up. So it's just complete nonsense. Just like everything that these idiots say, it's all fucking nonsense. They make it up. But people are so dumb they believe it.
You're wrong. You're mine now.
You know. Oh, right. It wouldn't matter if I had cameras anyway. We're well within our rights to have cameras. But he made up some weird story that the cop said that I'm paranoid, so I have 1 million cameras around the house, and they labeled me a nut job. Like, they never came to my house. I have no idea what he's talking about. Again, it's completely fabricated nonsense. There would be records of this stuff. Like, this never happened. Anyway, just more nonsense that I pay no attention to at all. But they make up the most lavish, crazy stories with zero justification for it. The thing is, I don't follow them. Like, I don't pay attention to the detractors, so I don't even know what they're saying. So then they say shit like that, and they're like, oh, you see, well, must be true. Phil didn't respond. Phil doesn't listen to your nonsense at all. I only knew about it because PPP brought it up yesterday, and I was like, what? Like, what the fuck are they talking about? Iron Chef said, guys, if you listen to the podcast, it legitimately sounds like a paid actor, just like PPP said. He says crazy stuff in front of the woman. She seems to brush it off. No, here's the thing what you guys don't understand. It's no paid actor. These people don't pay anyone to do anything. They're poor. They're a bunch of poors. What it is they're fucking, the people that are in their fucking Discord servers, their communities. These aren't like 2 people. You have to understand these are a network of hundreds of thousands of weirdo losers who sit on fucking Discord all day talking about dumb shit like this and orchestrating it. They're all crazy. They didn't pay anyone. This is some nut job woman who's part of you know, like, There's not much else to it but that. It's very simple.
And we start off. Apparently, Mike Watson, yes, that Mike Watson that DSP always talks about, did an interview and he mentioned DSP. Let's hear what he had to say.
So the DSP situation, look, man, like honest to God, on everything I love, I really left this guy alone because I realized he's a little bit on the spectrum, and I can't do it, man. Like, I would have beat the shit out of him. We had a couple opportunities. He talked a lot of shit. We confronted him one time. Me and my friend Jaha, we confronted him one time in a parking lot. Viscount was there to witness, and this guy was like shaking for his life, and he was basically like saying, "Oh, I'm an alcoholic. Please forgive me." And you know, I honestly noticed at that moment he was a little bit special on the spectrum, and I kind of just dropped it after that because I'm not gonna fucking go there, dude. Like, I'm not that type of person, man. And I have a real soft spot for special needs. I have a real soft spot for people that have social disorders and disabilities and stuff like that. And I do my best. I've actually I've defended a lot of them in my life, and maybe 50% of the fights I've been in have been defending special people, you know. And I don't say that in a mean way or derogatory way, but there's no reason to make these people's lives worse, even if they're pieces of shit, which I want to say Phil is shown time and time again that he's truly not a good person, but he's special. He's special in that way, and I left him alone. I can't lay a finger on that kind of person, man. It's not in my heart. It's not in my blood to do something like that. That's just not cool. But is he a good person? I can say no. Mm-hmm. Does he deserve a lot of the stuff that's been said about him? I can't say no, but I can't say yes either. So I choose as a person to just ignore him. I choose just to let him be, and he can lay in his own bed that he's made, and you know, hopefully he does okay, but it's really none of my business at this point. He no longer says anything bad about me. He no longer instigates or talks shit, and that's enough for me.
And it looks like the stars aligned, because today on Thursday, it is February 20th, the second month of 2025, which means it's 220. Then we have this from Steven. I didn't snake Phil. I'm not the bad guy. This guy was dumb enough to come on my show and I wrecked him. PPP and Worski know what I do. They sent him to the lion's den. I thought they wanted me to wreck him. I really did. Then apparently 220 in the Pokemon Index is Pig Pokemon, whose ability is Oblivious. How fitting. And then DSP kept asking his audience, oh, you guys don't want DSP Tries anymore. And then he kept saying no to every single idea. And we have DarkSidePhil in the comment section, weirdly ignoring ideas in the chat. It's almost like he just wants fast food. To feed his fat wife, that is. Then a quote from DSP. My camera has worked for weeks and week with no problems, and all of a sudden it's messing up again. And Poem Josh points out, it's been a day since the last malfunction, Philip. Then DSP announced at 30 goals, he's going to do a Lego stream. And it is going to be called DSP Builds It. And I put this out. He says it will be a reward for hitting 30 goals, but says if the stream is not supported, he won't do it again. So they had to pay you to hit a goal, and the reward is to give him more money on a stream. And we have Bland in the chat. Steam is going to have a spring sale soon. Maybe let's give away some gift cards to members only. DarkSidePhil, maybe buy your chat a gift card and give it away as a reward. And of course, DSP, no, 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 no. Then someone suggested that Phil cook and use a deep fryer, and he said, we don't have a deep fryer, so we can't deep fry. And then he goes on to say as well, he's married now, so he can't do shower videos anymore. Then DSP showed off the Lego set that he's gonna do on 30 goals hit. And it's a flower Lego set. Remember when he was called people sissies? Well, your first Lego set and it's a flower set. Just saying, Phil. Another quote, nobody downsizes when they're doing well. And then Poem Josh, foregoing the obvious takes about your financial spending and history, this isn't a true statement. Focus changes all the time. It's not the result of doing poorly. Yeah, remember too, when DSP was getting all that Kino Casino money coming in, he refused to save a single dollar. And now the tax man's coming around. Then also DSP talked about the next viewer's choice, and one of them was Train Simulator. If that wins, I am definitely not watching that stream at all. Then he kept telling people, leave Twitch, go to Kick, go to YouTube, because you'll make more money. Then obviously, DSP with his whales and dents are an exception to everything, because he has 40 viewers, and as Poem Josh points out, gets over 600 gifted subs. Make that make sense. And DSP says, if you don't enjoy DSP eating food for rewards, that means you're miserable in your own life. Then DSP, the man responsible for dumbing down games, if you look at the God of War recent games, he's one of the reasons why their yellow paint is in every single game. He gets asked, should games have difficulty level options?
So Valkyl says, I'm playing Avowed on the hardest difficulty. Sadly, the combat is an unbalanced mess. It forces you to shoot from range because you die too fast using melee. So it sounds like they just don't want you to play on a hard difficulty, right? Like, this is what I try to impress upon people, but they don't listen to me. For some reason, this generation of gamer seems like they're dead set on always picking a harder difficulty. But just to explain to you guys, number one, the games aren't designed for that. And number two, no one cares if you beat a game on a harder difficulty. Like, you don't receive a trophy for it. You're not going to get recognition because you did it. I mean, more power to you if you get a feeling of accomplishment out of it. But these games are literally not being designed for the harder difficulties. Whatever is the default, the normal, when you boot that game up and you hit start and you don't mess with settings, that's the intended experience that the game designers have for that game. And in some cases, it's easy, and it's meant to be that way.
Then someone suggested DSP go to the zoo and film in real life videos for reward goals. And DSP said he cannot go to the zoo for his viewers or his content. It has to be for his wife, which he will never go for. And this is the thing that DSP always does is, I don't know what's going on, I don't know about this or that, but let me tell you what's going on with this or that. And says he doesn't know what's going on with LOLCOW Live, then goes on to explain what's going on with that show. Then we have Narwhal in the Kick Chat. The way to mod ship is to withhold plus negotiate behind the scenes, in my opinion. Then Iron Chef Sakai, already tried, he won't budge. Then DSP thinks the Lego flower set being made for adults means it's too difficult for children to make. Phil, it's Legos. You just put one piece into the other. It's not that difficult, Phil. Then he was having more issues with his camera. And he said he's ready to give up on his camera and never use it again. His solution is to buy a new camera and just replace it. Then keep this in mind for future down the road content. Wearing glasses and blowing bubbles is stupid shit. But at the same time, when tips are low, support's low, no one's giving them money, it's always, hey guys, if you give me money, I'll put on a hat, maybe a vest. Then remember when he said, I don't have any more collectibles, I don't have the statues or anything like that. When I moved, I got rid of all that stuff. And then on his bankruptcy report, put that he has no collectibles, nothing, blah blah blah. Look at it in the background, beside the DSP Gaming picture. That's a collectible right there, dude. As you can see, it's from Metal Gear Rising. What a lying bitch. And now DSP wants to do a PC point and click set of games for a marathon. I really hope that doesn't happen. And you know what's going to happen. He's going to say, chat, what do I do? Someone help me. Someone tell me what to do. Hopefully with a tip attached. And look at that. That is absolutely pathetic. 143 people watching. But he's popular, dude. Everyone loves him. He's having a resurgence, dude. And then still talking about the Lego sets. DSP is hoping people come and support the Lego streams so he can buy more expensive Legos for the next one. That is right. Another addiction unlocked, dude. And then he had 4 items from the snack box and he hated every single one. And now he hates the snack box. And look at that. Absolutely disgusting. This man truly is an alien. And then the night stream. And he had tech issues yet again. Almost an hour into night stream and still no game. And then Gout, this is DSP late stream right now. And look how blurry, look how disgusting that picture is. And then you see Phil's face with a buffering icon. This has been happening for 15 minutes so far. And then what was the reason for all these problems? Apparently, DSP decided to do updates in the middle of his stream, which then caused his stream to go offline. Then he finished the game, he has an hour left, and what does he do? He does what he does every single time. There's no time for anything else, it's time for Q&A. And would you look at that? $100 and $33 tip from Anonymous to hit a goal. How surprising, dude. And despite DSP saying he doesn't like Monster Hunter, he gets low attendance and he keeps wage quitting Monster Hunter, he's now thinking about playing Monster Hunter because someone donated the game to him. Then DSP described the enemies in Onimusha, kinda almost like jump scare tactics. And DSP had a worry when he does the LEGO streams. He says he's worried his eyesight will make building Legos hard for him because he can't see things close up. Now get ready for the most robust, flavorful content you're gonna see all year. He doesn't waste your time like other streamers. If you thought you've seen DSP eat things weirdly, you have not seen anything yet. He's gonna eat this candy bar, almost like he's sucking a dick. Then he was asked about the Life is Strange and Lost records, and the cringe writing in it. And he says he doesn't understand why every Life is Strange type game is about gay girls. DSP said the writers are antisocial and don't know how to interact with another human being. Remember, coming from the guy who doesn't leave his house 6 days a week. Then DSP declared he has hundreds of thousands of viewers. And Otter points out, it's barely hundreds, Phil. It's the same people every day. Do you think it's people watching one of your videos and never watching you again? Then DSP has an idea for the 50 gold reward. Another viewer's choice where he plays more Mega Man. Then we have quite the question here. I wonder, will Like a Dragon Pirate whatever be based off DSP's life like Infinite Wealth was? I mean, it's got a Justin Wong reference, so it must be. And this is the state of a DSP stream. Under 200 viewers, ICS with 20 kick subs, Princess Luna with $23 in Super Chat, Anonymous $100 tip, 300 total, another successful DSP night stream. Then you can tell when something gets under DSP's skin because he keeps calling people mentally stunted for using and spamming the 220 in his chat.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, the 20th of February, 2025. That's right. Today is 220, also known as Worldwide Mental Stuntation Day. The day where if you're mentally stunted, you type 220 in someone's stream chat and spam it all day long and see what happens. So, oh, did someone finally do it? Here we go. Disposable litter box is referencing Swinub and its number in the Pokedex. Congratulations, Disposable Litter Box. You're the first participant in Worldwide Mental Stuntation Day. Let's, everyone. Yes, you've done it. You're the first one. The very first participant. So let's have nice hoopla and fanfare for the moron. Congratulations. You fucking idiot. Anyway.
Then DSP says he cannot build models in his room because of the fumes. And then BroSydePhil showed off this. It's Officer Whitney describing why she went to Phil's house. After reviewing Phil's latest email, I drove to his residence in the gated community of Palm Court. While there, I didn't see anything suspicious. Because Phil was saying, oh, nobody came to the house, blah blah blah. And what Officer Whitney is saying is, because he got that email about someone threatening his life, she had to go there to make sure everything was okay. And that's when she saw the cameras. And that brings us to Friday. Let's see how the week ended for DSP. First, we have him in the chat. Got some good news. I finally have on-screen pop-ups for subs that are automatic. I just have to set up the animations now. They just launched it today. I'm about to set it up and test it. See Phil, if you weren't such a scumbag, you would have Streamlabs and Stream Elements that you could use, because if you weren't a scumbag, you would have never been banned from there. Then it looks like Steven is not letting up on DSP. He says tomorrow, which is Saturday, 7 p.m, everyone is invited to my pig roast. And then you see DSP's head on a plate, and is titled, Welcome to Cambion's Pig Roach, a DarkSidePhil update. And look at that. I'm sure it doesn't shock anyone else. DSP late to a stream yet again. 37 minutes today. Then you can see DSP only has a few joys left in life, and gaming is not one of them. However, food is at the very top of things he actually likes.
Italian, and if that's the case, maybe she could make like a big lasagna or something. That would be cool. Like a homemade lasagna with meat and cheese and sauce. Oh man. Oh man. I think I just had an idea. Homemade lasagna and maybe like homemade like breadsticks or something. Oh. Oh man. Oh. Manicotti, I love manicotti too. My mother used to make manicotti like every holiday, like for Easter and Christmas. Homemade manicotti with that ricotta cheese inside. Oh. Oh. Oh man. Okay. So yes, from scratch, right? I mean, she wouldn't make the noodles herself, but like, you know, she could probably make the sauce or get a sauce and season it to be her own seasoning, and then get the cheese, layer the cheese with the noodles and bake it in the oven. You know. Oh man. Man, we might have to do that. We might have to do an Italian feast, an amazing Italian feast. I'll have a salad, an Italian salad with like Italian dressing, and then lasagna, and then like some breadsticks or something. Oh man. Now you're getting me too excited. Why do we think about this now? It's too far away. It's probably like 2 weeks away. We shouldn't have been talking about this now, because now I'm going to start craving this. All right, well, I'll run this by her. I'll see what she thinks. If she thinks she could do that, I mean, that'd be amazing to have that kind of amazing feast, Italian homemade feast during this amazing 50-goal celebration marathon. Oh man. All right, good stuff. I could make my own marinara, but the thing is, then I have to go around buying all the ingredients, and it takes like a whole, morning/afternoon to do that. I would be late to stream. So, we'll think about it, but I don't know if we're going to do that or not. We'll see.
It's quite funny how DSP shows all this joy towards food, but not his wife, who's making the food, by the way. Then for some reason, in his sweater, he decides the background should be a beach. And you could see the evolution and how out of control his food addiction's getting. First, it was one single item on DSP Tries It. Then it was an item and sides. Then it was 2 items and sides. Then he had 3 burgers plus sides. And now, he wants to order 3 different fast food pizzas and compare them. And this is something I just can't stand. I can't watch any of this. The scheduled segments regarding the schedule of his scheduled games on the schedule. Then DSP announced he was going to buy a grill because he's making good money, but then says bylaws outlawed them. Then goes on to say, not being able to have a grill is stupid because there's rampant drug use in his state, and they shouldn't be making laws about such minor issues until it's fixed. And then Poem Josh with the TLDR. The fence is too close, and that means he's breaking fire code if he attempts to use one in his backyard. He framed this as some dumb local law, but is a fire code in most states to not have anything within 20 feet radius to fence lines or occupancies. Now keep in mind too, on this day, the 21st, DSP got paid by YouTube, and he says now any form of support is good since he's doing good right now. Remember how excited DSP was to do all those clips and put them on his channel because it was extra money, extra views? Well, he says he's not doing it anymore. It's too much work and won't make any money. And DSP says he still wants to be a voice actor. I've only seen 2 different DSP voices. One was the robot voice, and 2 was that racist Pokemon voice. Then DSP's going to go on to say he tried Arby's out of nowhere, despite for 2 weeks talking about it and begging to hit the goals. Even at one point, refusing to let his wife eat until they hit the goals.
I'll give you a perfect example of this. Okay, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? I did the Arby's. Was it last week? I think it was last week. I did the Arby's DSP Tries It. And out of nowhere, I tested their burger, and their burger was seriously good.
And of course, he's still pushing Yakuza down everyone's throat, despite nobody wanting it, past, present, or future. And he's also begging people not to leave during Yakuza, and then started mocking people for liking certain kind of games. Then the interview with Mike Watson got around where he mentioned DSP, and DSP, of course, has to respond to this.
Did I respond to Mike Watson's interview? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. And if Mike Watson said anything about me in 2025, you have to understand something, and this is just real talk. Mike Watson is the absolute least pertinent person on this planet, the least pertinent person, on this planet to say a word about me. I haven't spoken with the man since my early YouTube days in a YouTube DM. I don't think about Mike Watson. I don't care about Mike Watson. He has no influence on me whatsoever, no power over me, and has nothing to do with me. If he's talking about me in 2025, it just shows that for some reason I'm on his mind still. I do not give 2 shits about Mike Watson. I actually wish him the best, and I hope he has a great life. I have no association with him whatsoever. He has nothing he can possibly say about me that would be pertinent. So there you go. Okay. He was very respectful. Well, good then. I'm glad to hear that. Like I said, I actually wish him the best. I do not have any beef with Mike Watson at all. In my, I don't care about the guy at all. I wish him the best, so I hope that that's the case. So, well, guys.
Look at that. 229 people watching Yakuza. What a renaissance, dude. And DSP kept saying he's in the industry. He's been in the industry for over 15 years. Poor him, Josh. Spending 15 years streaming video games does not mean you're in the industry, Philip. That's like saying you've been a home cook for 15 years. So you've worked in the food industry. Then DSP tried to pity guilt people, saying it was a pipe dream of getting 2 goals on a Yakuza stream. Then we have Darkside Dabbin, who's a whale on Kick. Hey King, don't want to stall the gameplay, but I just saw your reply to my email. We can wait for the night stream if that works better. Could we have a new mod here? And then he kept asking people, should I keep playing this and do more streams of Yakuza? Everyone said no, and he said, okay, well I'm gonna do it anyways. And then are you ready for one of the dumbest things DSP has said in quite some time? He's going to explain how asthma isn't a big deal like cancer, and then goes on to say some of the dumbest misinformation on asthma you'll ever hear.
Asthma. It's asthma. He has asthma. He doesn't have some massive life-threatening disease. He has asthma. As long as he has his respirator with him or whatever they call that thing, he's fine. Why are they talking like he has like a deadly illness like cancer or something? It's asthma. It's very common today.
That's according to the doctors in Honolulu, of course. Normally, it's a very treatable issue. And yet, too often, one of Noah's fits nearly kill him. What's a dad to do?
I'm not even kidding you. I've probably known a dozen or more people in my life that have had asthma, and not one of them ever has said to me, asthma is a life-threatening disease that I'm going to die from. All they need to do is have their inhaler, right? Not the respirator, it's an inhaler is what they call it. That's it. And even then, if you don't have the inhaler, if you actually can control your breathing anyway, you can actually stop an asthma attack. It's just much harder. It's much easier to do with the medicine because the medicine just stops it right away. But do you think that every person who ever had asthma before inhalers existed just died instantly? You know what I mean? Like, why are they acting like it's such a horrible thing? And would they have asthma in the Pacific Islands? I thought asthma is something for like highly pollinated. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they have asthma out there too. I didn't think that it was like in the islands and stuff.
Even now, I'll cough.
Then DSP declared, if you keep up the support, DSP will do all the content of Pirate Yakuza. And look at that green screen. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And then Mike Watson leaves a comment on Gamerface Gaming. You guys are all amazing. I saw this on my feed because algorithm is all thrown off after seeing one vid. All of you putting him in his place are amazing. Thanks for the entertainment. And for real, if anyone asks, someone in the AMA asked me about DSP, which is why I said anything. Then DSP's in a bad mood. Apparently from Gout Gout, DSP is upset. Dinner was bad that Cat fixed. The pineapple went bad that they bought Saturday, and the chicken wasn't good, so they ordered Taco Bell. The Taco Bell was awful because the tacos were soaked and DSP didn't eat them. Then despite playing all the Yakuza games, DSP still cannot get the lore right.
Thanks for the $2 super chat says, isn't it weird to see Majima acting normal? Well, if you actually played like Zero, Yakuza 0, and stuff like that, like back in the day, he did act normal. Remember, he was running his own businesses and stuff? But it wasn't until, you know, the craziness of the whole Yakuza franchise going nuts, right? That really, I think, it became like a big issue where he started losing his mind and acting like the crazy killer slasher dude. Yeah, no, I think that he will probably become his self later. Of course, he's gonna be a pirate in this one. I guess we'll have to see, right?
Then DSP was freaking out because Kick wasn't working properly. Which means, dude, you can't get those gifted subs, dude. And that was the week of DSP. If you like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe my other channels on the details of the end cards, and as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.